We're live at Coletco for tonight's Facebook record sale. It is 7 minutes past 7. When you're on and watching, be sure to let us know. We are about to get started. I've got to move a few things around because, man, what happened? Must have been somebody coming through the store today digging through the crates because they're all out of order. Trying to figure out which crate we're going to do first for our warm-up. Let's do that first. Let me get all this moved around. Everybody's bunch of stuff's been shifted around. Figure out where we're at here. Let's put this up here. I'm gonna put that there, Tanter. And what is this? This looks like a crate of, I don't know what that is. That might have been a Buy It Now Best Offer crate that I went through one night. I'm going to set it way up here. I'm already having to clean up, and we're not even got started yet. Looks like Paul's got us some fantastic looking records priced. Wow, McDonald's record. That's scary. My laptop's in my bag. All right, I hadn't got on to share yet. Let's see. I'm not looking at comments. I'm still trying to move some crates around because things have gotten somehow well out of order. I'm just going to have to take all this to the back tonight, it looks like. I had them stacked really high. Either somebody came in to look through them or my mom didn't like the way they were stacked and she moved them, which is more likely. Let's see here. All right, I think I'm good now. I just got a lot of other stuff to bring over here. I'm going to go through this crate right here with the rushes and the monster magnets. We're going to go through that as our warm-up bin. All right, so we got lots of new vintage arrivals. Paul's got us some stuff priced. We are working on a lot of new vinyl. Jake and Tanner are here. Jake and Tanner are here. Jake's going to be tagging for us while Tanner's working on pre-orders. I got here and I pulled everything that I knew I could go ahead and sell. And then Tanner's working on all of our big pre-orders, which there's a lot. We have a lot of stuff in, a lot of new stuff in. So let's go and start sharing the feed. Let me find our feed so I can start sharing it. Let's see here. Let me go to Coletco. No Seth tonight. No, he bails on us on Wednesdays and Fridays and usually on Saturdays too. So let's do group. I'm going to share this in a few different groups. Let's do here and over here. And let's copy this link. I'm going to go over to the group and let everybody know we're live. I've got it shared, but I'm going to share it into the hot post that I posted. Got some pre-orders going. Here's one I'm going to put here. We're live now. This is live now. All right, then I made the post about the Led Zeppelin record we're going to be auctioning tonight. There that is. Live now. Alrighty. And now let's go over to the main Coletco page and start getting shared. Dang, I need Seth's gigs. That's what we've all been saying. We all want Seth's gig. Let's post here. And let's post here. All right. I think I've got it shared everywhere. Let me delete last night's post. And let's get it shared on YouTube. If you haven't already, please make sure you share on Facebook. Hit the arrow, share it to your friends. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. If you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up button. That's like liking the video, but that also really helps us out because it helps the YouTube analytics. Same way with locking the Facebook post. Same with liking the Facebook post. That really helps us out. It bumps it up. You know, we have over 20,000 followers. We would have a lot of people have probably liked our page and have no idea we even sell records. They probably saw an ad one time, saw that we maybe deal in records and collectibles. They liked our page, and they probably hadn't seen one of our posts since then. That's how Facebook works. Just so you know, if you have 500 followers and you make a post, probably like 50 only really see it, unless either you spend money to boost it or it gets a lot of likes and comments, and still not all 500 people is going to see it. So a lot of science behind that. Facebook really starts helping you out when you start sending them money. When you start sending Facebook money, that really helps. I found you through a record group. Great. That was free. Usually I have to spend money to find y'all. Usually to find most of y'all, I've had to spend a lot of money. So, but I'm glad y'all are here. We're going to go through our first crate of new stuff. Tanner's working on pre-orders. We got new vinyl. It's not new releases, but it's new stuff. I'm also going to go through, let me grab this crate behind the counter of stuff I worked on last night. We got all of the Japanese stuff that was featured in the hot post. Also went through a high-end bin last night. Then I listed I went back through the high-end bin after the sale, and I repriced everything, and I listed a lot of it on Discogs. The stuff I listed on Discogs, we've already sold 2 or 3 of them, including the if you were watching last night, we had an Humphreys McGee record for 200. Actually, we had it for 149. Sold it on Discogs moments ago for 199. I told y'all that would happen. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. How can I find you on Discogs? Message us and we'll send you a link, or you can search Collectco, and I think that's all one word. That's all one word. But yeah, we got a lot of great stuff on there. We went through a high-end bin last night. Half of the high-end bin I repriced and re-updated. Like I got more pressing information, everything. And then the other half I put on Discogs. Several have already sold. All right, let's see what we have in this bin. Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. Yes, about 11 o'clock last night, we went through a $7 bin, a $6.99 crate. That's why you should stick around till the end. We have Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. $33.99 for Black Sabbath, Master of Reality. That's a 2012 remaster. You should own it. I hadn't shown these in a while. I still haven't got to post them in the group. I want to let everybody know, though, we have them. This is 200 gram Rush 2112, a 40th anniversary edition, direct metal mastering, 3 LPs, 200 gram, $64.99. $64.99. That's a triple LP Rush, 200 gram of 2112 plus the bonus LPs. Dio Magica, $38.99. Dio Magica, that's a 2 LP with a 7-inch, $38.99 for Dio Magica. We also have Soundgarden, $49.99. This is Soundgarden Super Unknown, $49.99. Soundgarden Super Unknown. Also have Slayer, Rain in Blood. Slayer is $36.99. Dwight Yoakam, Blame the Vein, $29.99 for Dwight Yoakam. Tool, Undertow, $33.99 for Tool Undertow. Also Riot, Restless Breed. Riot is $28.99 for Restless Breed. And Testament, Souls of Black. This is $44.99. Testament, Souls of Black. Music on vinyl pressing. Also U2 Octung Baby, and like I've said before, that's pretty much an on-sale price at $34.99. 30th anniversary edition with poster. U2 Octung Babies, $34.99. Rush, a show of hands, 200 gram. That is $39.99. Rush, a show of hands, $39.99. That's also 200 gram live Rush. Funkadelic, Maggot Brain. Funkadelic is $31.99 for Maggot Brain. That is a gatefold. Single LP, a little bit more affordable copy there. Ted Nugent, Cat Scratch Fever. Music on vinyl, limited to 1,000 on white vinyl. $38.99 on Ted Nugent. Danger, Danger. Music on vinyl pressing. $44.99. Danger, danger, $44.99. If you're just joining us, we're in our first crate, just some stuff we've had before, but just going back through it one more time while everybody hops on. If you haven't already, please share, comment as much as you can. Radiohead, a moon-shaped pool, $46.99 for Radiohead, a moon-shaped pool. Radiohead, the King of Limbs, $31.99. More Radiohead, Amnesiac, $46.99. More Radiohead in Rainbows, $44.99. And more Radiohead, OK Computer, $46.99. Also, NSYNC, $36.99, no strings attached. The Backstreet Boys Millennium, $36.99. There's another copy of Tool Undertow. Tool Undertow is $33.99, 2LP. The Muppet Movie on yellow vinyl, $43.99. Also, Flight of the Conchords live in London, $34.99. White Stripes Elephant, $49.99. The Exit Papers, I've got this one backwards. It is The Exit Papers, a soundtrack by Low, $34.99. Marty Kramer on the NSYNC picture disc, first sell of the night. Sold to Marty Kramer. Monster Magnet, Mind Effer, $44.99 for Monster Magnet. Also, Monster Magnet 4-Way Diablo, that's $41.99. And Monster Magnet Monolithic Baby, $41.99. That was some stuff we'd gone back through before, or had before. That was just a final call. Marty says he'll also take the Backstreet Boys. Those are sold and sold. NSYNC and Backstreet Boys. Let me go through this crate one more time, just from the front. Dwayne Sevilla wants Monster Magnet Mono. That's sold to Dwayne Sevilla. 200 gram is Rush. A Show of Hands is $39.99. And Rush 2112 is $64.99. Here's what's in this bin. Monster Magnet, Low, White Stripes, Flight of the Conchords. Miss Marty Kramer says thanks. Thank you, Miss Marty. Muppet Movie, NSYNC, Radiohead, Danger, Danger, Ted Nugent, Funkadelic, Rush, U2, Testament, Riot, Tool, Dwight Yoakam, Slayer, Soundgarden, Dio, Rush, and Black Sabbath. That's what I have here. Brian Tyler says he'll take the Riot, Restless Breed. That's so to Riot. Anyone else having issues with comments not showing up? I can see them on Chad's feed, but not on my Facebook feed. Huh. Interesting. So people can see comments, they just can't see. You can see our comments, but just can't see your comments. I guess that's what y'all are saying. All right, let's go through a crate of new stuff. New stuff we've never shown before. A lot of new restocks, a lot of new releases, etc., etc. It's a full crate because we had it into two. I pulled out a lot of that stuff. So, interesting. Okay. Let's go through this crate here and see what we have. First thing is Bob Marley Rasta Revolution on green and black splatter vinyl. Bob Marley is $31.99. That's a new release. Bob Marley and the Wailers Rasta Revolution on green and black splatter vinyl. $31.99. Enough's Enough 10. New release. Purple vinyl. $29.99. Enough's Enough 10. Purple vinyl. $29.99. LA Guns restock on a new color. Coke bottle green. LA Guns Hollywood Forever. $29.99. Fairly new release. Another new release. Bad Religion Recipe for Hate. Limited edition orange and red splatter vinyl. $29.99. Mike Massey gets Bad Religion. That's sold to Mike Massey. Fairly new release. I didn't know it was out till Craig Proper told me to order it. Brian May and Friends, the Starfleet Project. $36.99. Brian May's legendary 1983 Super Sessions with Eddie Van Halen. That is $36.99. I've got two of those. Craig, I've already got one pulled for you. Joe Barrios also wants a Bad Religion. That's so to Joe Barrios. And Greg Hagewood wants a Starfleet. Craig, I've already got one pulled for you, so we'll skip over that comment. That goes to Greg, and we'll give Darren Meyer one. That goes to Darren Meyer. We have LA Guns, covered in guns. LA Guns, red and blue vinyl. If you're looking for LA Guns, you're in luck tonight. I think I have 7 different LA Guns albums. prepare yourself. So it really helps if you can comment the exact name on LA Guns. So not only put LA Guns, but let me know the exact album you're after, because there are several tonight. There are several. These two are sold. First, let's start a waiting list. Let's start a waiting list for the Brian May Starfleet, please, Jake, and we'll put Brian C. at the top of that waiting list. Brian C. on Starfleet waiting list. We'll put him on that. And then these two LA Guns are sold, Rebecca Barber and John Leal. Rebecca Barber and John Leal. Those are both sold. Next is a new release for Ike and Tina Turner, The Hunter, $33.99. And like the blurb says, this is one of their last more really blues-driven albums on the Blue Thumb label. This is Ike and Tina, $33.99. That's a new release for Friday. Restock, haven't had this one in a while. I've got a lot of Fleetwood Mac, their studio albums tonight. This is Tango in the Night remastered. $29.99 for Tango in the Night remastered. $29.99. Black Label Society, The Blessed Hell Ride. $29.99 for Black Label Society, The Blessed Hell Ride. That is $29.99. New release, Reagan Youth on silver vinyl. $29.99. Reagan Youth Volume 1. $29.99. That's a restock of the Black Label Society. Also, Fleetwood Mac's self-titled album, remastered. And I think this is one of those really good cuts. It's not Palace, but I think it is Bernie Grundman. Monday Morning, Warm Way, Say You Love Me, Over My Head. That is $31.99. Paul Brothers, new waiting list for LA Guns Covered. That's Paul Brothers on that waiting list. The Cramps, $36.99. The Complete Show, live at Santa Monica Civic, California, 1980, $36.99. Mike Massey is so fast. He is so fast. Cramps is sold to Mike Massey. I got 4 of those left. It's Tangle in the Night, 180 gram. Yes, 180 gram. 180 gram on that. Okay, this was a special order for Troy Robinson. If anybody else wants one, let me know. This is 112. I guess that's how you read that, or 112, or 112. But if anybody else wants one, they are $49.99, limited edition black and white vinyl. We can just tag that for Troy Robinson like he's buying it. Troy Robinson on that one. Okay, next comment was, so Darren asked that. We had Mike Helton on Black Label Society, Blessed Hell Ride. This is sold to Mike Helton. That was next. Kelly Gabney on Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night. That's sold to Kelly Gabney. And we have LA Guns, Collector's Edition number 1. I think this is LA Guns' first recordings. It was a demo that they submitted to Polydor. Limited edition blue vinyl, $31.99. I believe that's what I was reading about that one. That was a submission to that. All right, let's. I've got all kinds of stuff to auction tonight. Like I said, the last thing we really went through last night was a high-end bin. And what I've done is I've gone back through that one. I pulled some stuff out. And we're going to first start with some $5 auctions. Yes, just $5 auctions. First is a sealed copy of Ringo Starr, Ringo's Rotogravure. It is a saw mark, but it is sealed. That's a sealed copy. $5 start for Ringo. Ringo's Rotogravure. That's our first auction, $5 start. And Toto Turn Back, Japanese pressing, $5 start. Near mint and pristine Japanese vinyl. It has the insert, it has the inner sleeve, it has the insert, and it includes a poster. That's also a poster. $5 start on that. In shrink wrap, has a little bit of discoloration and a stain right here. So a VG or VG Plus cover, even though it's in shrink wrap of Obi. But the vinyl is near mint pristine. Those are $5 starts. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything. There's our first auctions, $5 and $5 starts. I'll consider those warm-ups for some of the kind of stuff we're going to have tonight. Ken Crooker and Rebecca Barber first on this LA Guns. That's called LA Guns number 1. That's sold to Ken Crooker and Rebecca Barber. We will put Dwayne Sevilla on a waiting list for LA Guns number 1. Dwayne's on a waiting list. What color vinyl for Tina? I'm assuming that is black vinyl because it didn't tell me otherwise. Black vinyl on that. Okay. Also, Paul Brothers on LA Guns #1 waiting list. Mike Massey wants Reagan Youth. We'll go ahead and pull him out of there. That's so to Mike Massey, Reagan Youth. Ringo 5, Toto 5. Troy said Test, Toto 5. Nick Bargeron also on LA Guns #1 waiting list. And Sean Druin on LA Guns #1 waiting list. So that was a demo that LA Guns submitted to Polydor, some of their first recordings. That's what that is. If anybody else wants on that waiting list, let me know. Okay, this was another special order for Troy Robinson. If anybody else thinks I may want one, let me know and I'll get one for you. This is Kim, Anniversary, the live album, $33.99. Troy, that's in. We'll go ahead and put Troy's name on that. Troy Robinson, that was a special order for him. Left it in there. And Fleetwood Mac Mirage. Fleetwood Mac Mirage, that's also remastered, 180 gram, $29.99 for Fleetwood Mac Mirage. Remastered, 180 gram, $29.99. Another Black Label Society, I don't think I've had this one or haven't had this one in a while. Sonic Brew, which is $31.99, 180 gram, blue, black, and silver vinyl. That is $31.99. $31.99. Also, I thought I saw a comment earlier, Red Hot Chili Peppers Californication. Yeah, I knew I missed something else. Red Hot Chili Peppers Californication. That is around here somewhere. Black Keys, Rammstein, B.I.G. Boy, that's a great crate right over here. What's all these records still doing around here? Ozzy and Pink Floyd and Red Hot Chili Peppers. Let me try to locate that for you, though. Could it be right here? Could it be there? I'm trying to find it. Black Crowes. We might just make a note of that, and I will try. I know it's not over here because I went through all this stuff last night. It could be in this crate. Let's just make a side note of that for... Let's make a side note of that. I see Cake Fashion Nugget. That's a new crate of vinyl, isn't it? Is that a new crate of vinyl that I've misplaced? Or been looking for? No, that's what I said on top last night to go through. Yeah, Led Zeppelin, Muse. Let's just make a note of that, and I will pull it. I think somebody, we had a crate digger today in the store. We must have had somebody go through every crate in the store because they're all out of place from where I left them about 7 o'clock this morning. Okay, so that is Brian Tyler on Red Hot Chili Peppers Californication. Beach Boys Pet Sounds is right over here. I just saw it. It was $33.99. It's $33.99 right here. That's in mono if you want that jack. Okay, Toto 10, Toto 11. Darren Davis says he'll take a Fleetwood Mac Mirage. That's so to Darren Davis. That was the next comment. And we have a new release from the Grateful Dead, live at RFK Stadium, $179.99. This is an 8 LP box, new release, limited to 9,000, $179.99. The Grateful Dead at RFK Stadium, 8 LP, Washington, D.C., 1973. That's $179.99. Jack said sold on Beach Boys Pet Sounds. So, you pulled Tango, not Mirage. I did. I pulled the wrong Fleetwood Mac album just a moment ago. Mirage. Darren had also asked about Tango on the Night. That's why I got confused. That is what you wanted, right, Darren? He also asked about Tango on the Night. I got you a Mirage pull. Tango on the Night is what I'm putting back in the bin. Okay, so update on our auctions. Toto's at 12, Toto's at 15, and the sealed Ringo has a $5 bid. That's a final call. $5 on the sealed Ringo rotogravure. Another LA Guns. This one's called Made in Milan, $31.99. LA Guns Made in Milan, 2LP. I told you we had a lot of LA Guns tonight. $31.99 for that one. I only have 2 of those LA Guns, $31.99. New release from Dr. John, High Priest of Psychedelic Voodoo. Dr. John's a yellow, purple, and green vinyl, $49.99. Dr. John, triple LP colored vinyl, $49.99. LA Guns Made in Milan. Hanoi Rocks, 2 steps from the move. Hanoi Rocks is on red vinyl from Music on Vinyl, limited a number to 2,000 on red vinyl. That is $44.99. And a Turnpike Troubadours that I've never had before. Turnpike Troubadours, A Long Way From Your Heart, $33.99. Okay, let's see here. Toto 16. Let's see. Next comment was Ken Crooker on Guns and Hanoi Rock. I think he gets both of these. He wants the LA Guns and the Hanoi Rocks, right? So LA Guns is sold to Ken Crooker, and so is Hanoi Rocks. We'll put Craig Thomas on the Hanoi Rocks waiting list. Wayne Carr wants Turnpike Troubadours. John Stevens is at 7 on Ringo Starr. Brian Tyler wants LA Guns Milan. And Rebecca Barber also on that. So the name of that Hanoi Rocks album that I only had one copy of, and I know I can get more, this is LA Guns, Two Steps from the Move, $44.99. That one was sold, and then we're going to put Craig and Rebecca on a waiting list. Duran Duran, Thanksgiving Live, the Ultra Chrome Latex and Steel Tour, 25th Anniversary Edition on purple and yellow vinyl, $39.99. I've got one of those, but I can get more. Okay, so this is our first two auctions of the night. I started those at $5. And that was Sealed Ringo, Ringo's Rotogravure. Sealed Ringo's Rotogravure. That has the saw mark in it. That is sealed. Zach Billy has that for $8. And Toto Turn Back, I also started that one at $5. Near mint minus Japanese pressing. High bid on that is Brent Alverson at $16. $16 on that. That's going once, going twice. Mike's going to pass on the Duran Duran. And Nick's at 9 at Ringo Starr. Tormentor, $34.99. This is the Blitzkrieg demo, 1984. Tormentor, $34.99. I feel like I'm saying that weird. Also, LA Guns Renegades, red vinyls. Who was asking about this last night? I've got two of them. One of them has a light seam crackle. Not this one, but I do have another copy. $28.99. Ken Crooker wants LA Guns Renegades. That's sold to Ken Crooker. That was what Darren Davis wanted. I've also got Matthew Sweet from Intervention Records, $59.99. Double LP expanded edition with 7 bonus tracks. Ultra quiet, pressed at Got a Groove. Artist approved. Matthew Sweet, 100% fun, is $59.99. All right, so LA Guns was sold to Ken Crooker. Rebecca also wants one. Rebecca, I had one. Where's the ones that were tagged with light seam splits? Do you have those somewhere? I was going to show that to Rebecca. It was very light. Ed, when he unboxes all this, he pulls. Actually, we'll take that whole stack. I'll take all those because some of those LA Guns, they may want them anyway. You like that? Let me go ahead. I got Led Zeppelin laying over here. Let me go ahead and bring Led Zeppelin a little bit closer. Not going to auction him yet, but we will pretty soon. Let's see here. So, yeah, let's see how this other seam split looks. Rebecca, you're next. If you're okay with that, it's very light seam crackle. If you're okay with that, then that's sold to Rebecca Barber. We're going to have a waiting list for them. And that's anybody else that was second. By the way, we had a $9 bid on Ringo, an $18 bid on Toto, a $9 bid on Ringo. Rebecca will most likely get that one. Brenda was first on the waiting list for LA Guns Renegades. Brenda was first on that. Kelly Gabney on Duran Duran. Jill Morris also on the Renegades waiting list. How much was Tormentor? Tormentor is $34.99, Peter. And we have Toto is at 19. Midnight Oil, Diesel and Dust, $68.99. Midnight Oil, Diesel and Dust. This is the one I was talking to you about that is an import. 2021 remaster gatefold of Midnight Oil. That is $68.99, new and sealed. LA Guns Toronto, 1990. Red and blue vinyl. That's a live. That is official too. That is an official live. LA Guns, $36.99. Peter says he'll take Tormentor. That's sold to Peter. Toto's at 20 and Ringo Starr's at 10. Midnight Oil and Testament, The Gathering. Testament is $34.99. Testament, The Gathering, $34.99. Wow, what a lot of great new vinyl. I told y'all there was a lot of stuff in there. Guess what? There's like 7 other crates. Well, most of it's pre-sold for pre-orders. Tanner's working on those right now. I'm going to go through those one more time. Brenda Medina wants this LA Guns, the live one. And let's update our auctions, which Val Simonia is at 20 on Toto. This is a Japanese press in shrink wrap with Obi. It has the poster, the inner sleeve, and the insert. The cover has some light discoloration on it. And then the sealed Ringo is at $10 with Paul Brothers. That's where we're at. I'm going to show another LA Guns first. These have some light seam crackles, but they do have seam crackles. This is Hollywood Raw, the original sessions on splatter vinyl. LA Guns is $33.99 if anybody wants that. That does have some light seam crackles, just FYI, $33.99. Testament sold to Tony Riddle. That's sold to Tony Riddle, Testament. Before that, the other record here is Brendan Medina's, which is the LA Guns. Toto's at 21. High bid on Toto Turn Back is at 21. Final call. Ringo is a final call at $10. So LA Guns, that's Hollywood Raw. Bob Marley, Rasta Revolution, $31.99. We still got both of those. Enough's Enough 10 on purple vinyl, $29.99. LA Guns, Hollywood Forever, Coke Bottle Clear, $29.99. Ike and Tina Turner, The Hunter, $33.99. Last copy of The Blessed Hell Ride, Black Label Society, $29.99. Reagan Youth, Volume 1, $29.99. Fleetwood Mac, self-titled, $31.99. We got two of those. And Fleetwood Mac, Tango in the Night. I may have called that Mirage. Wait a second. No, that was self-titled. Fleetwood Mac, self-titled, and that's Tango in the Night. I'm getting those confused. Ken Crooker wants Hollywood Guns, or LA Guns, Hollywood Raw. Got my cities mixed up. That's sold to Ken Crooker. Next was Black Label Society, Blessed Hell Ride. And Brenda, I'll need you to be pretty specific on which LA Guns you're wanting. The Cramps, $36.99. That's a live show from 1980. Still got all four of those. There's Mirage Fleetwood Mac, $29.99. Black Label Society Sonic Brew, $31.99. Grateful Dead is $179.99. Live at RFK Stadium. Dr. John, High Priest of Psychedelic Voodoo, Dr. John, $49.99. Matthew Sweet is $59.99. Midnight Oil is $68.99. And LA Guns is $36.99. She said both of them. I don't know if that helps me out much. Do you want Hollywood Raw Live and Hollywood Forever? If so, comment those exact titles. The only other thing I have left, which has some seam crackles, is 1919 Eternal. Black Label Society, 1919 Eternal. That's on purple vinyl, $39.99. Ringo, I was just about to sell it. It's a sealed copy, has a saw mark. It's a sealed copy at $10. That's a final call. It's at $10. Toto is at $23 with Val Simonia. The Testament was called The Gathering. It has already sold. Martin Pryor wants Black Label Society Sonic Brew. Toto's at $24. She wants Hollywood Live and Hollywood Forever Hollywood on the Coke. Okay, so that is these. Let's see. For sure this one. And I think that was Toronto. You got a Toronto earlier. There's been about 5. That's why I'm for sure. I've got you with a Toronto Live, and I've got you with a Hollywood Forever. The name of this one's called Hollywood Raw, the Original Sessions. Just FYI. Okay, so that's why I need exact titles. There was 5 different LA Guns albums in here. That's why it was a little bit confusing. Mike Helton wants a Black Label Society 1919. Hollywood Forever is $29.99. Boy, they had some confusing titles. Every title they have has the word Hollywood in it. So you can't even put LA Guns Hollywood. You got to be very specific with these. Hollywood Forever, LA Guns Coke Bottle Clear Vinyl. They must have really liked Hollywood. $29.99 on that. Jill Morse. Toto's at $25. Dr. John numbered. I don't believe so. This is a new release for Friday. It's not numbered. That's a brand new release for Friday. $49.99. Brent's out on Toto. High bid's $25. David, Ringo is not a buy it now. Ringo is up for auction. And the high bid on Ringo is $10, and I'm about to sell it. We need a bid of more than 3 on that. The 3 sides of every story come in. There's about 20 pre-orders that's come in tonight. I will start going through those as soon as Tanner gets done tagging them all. We will show those throughout the next 4 hours. So please stay tuned, and I will let you know everything and anything that's come in. I just know there's a lot. There's a lot of crates of new vinyl over here. Lots of waiting list, pre-orders, new releases. And Paul's got us wow, this is an incredible batch of records he has here. I've never seen I might want to keep that. I was about to say, I've never seen that before. Have you, Tanner? Might want to keep that. I'm going to set that aside. I'll show y'all what it is. There's some great records in here, though. All right. Jake, you ready? And Jake's rubbing his eyes like, what in the world? What is going on tonight? It's busy already. We hadn't even started our primo auctions or our primo crates. That was just warm-up. That was crate number 1. All right, Ringo's at 15. I want to be very clear on our auctions before I sell them and let everybody know what's going on. Auction number 1 is an original copy of Ringo rotogravure. It is sealed. It's never been opened. It does have a saw mark where it ended up in the cutout bin back in the day. I don't think this one sold too well for Ringo. A lot of them are cutouts. $15 for David on that. David Williams has that for $15. That's a final call. Also, Toto is up for bid. Japanese pressing, near mint pristine on the vinyl, has all the inserts complete. Donnie Moore has that for $25. Final call. Donnie Moore has that for $25. Ringo's now at 17. I know the LA Guns was probably confusing right then. I'm probably going to order more, and there's more tonight. But not only that, I'm going to go back through those a little bit later. That was a lot of LA Guns, I know. I saw all those in stock, and there's been so many people ask about LA Guns. I was like, we're going to take care of that problem. I'm going to order about 7 different ones. I think we've sold out of everything except Hollywood Forever. The only thing left in there is Hollywood Forever and Hollywood Raw. Let me show those just so everybody's clear. Hollywood Forever and Hollywood Raw. If you want those, please put those exact words verbatim. Otherwise, I'm lost as last year's Easter egg. New arrivals. This is a lot of, there's a lot of pre-owned stuff in here. There's also some OG stuff. We have a very merry McBirthday from Ronald McDonald. Wow. That is a VG Plus $24.99. VG Plus $24.99. VG Plus $24.99. My mom claimed Hollywood Raw and Enough's Enough. Actually, she didn't claim Enough's Enough. She claimed, and I don't think she claimed a Hollywood Raw either. She got Toronto Live. That's why I was confused. We have Soundgarden. EX Condition, $32.99. That is Soundgarden, the A-Sides. Soundgarden, the A-Sides, $32.99. Dueling Banjos, Deliverance is EX, $12.99 for Dueling Banjos. Breakfast at Tiffany's, Henry Mancini. This is the OG, EX Condition, $16.99. EX Condition, $16.99. Breakfast at Tiffany's, EX Condition, $16.99. All in the family with the insert. VG Plus $14.99, all in the family, VG Plus $14.99, and the Blues Brothers in shrink wrap, VG Plus $19.99. Ringo's now at $20. Paul Brother says he's out. That's a final call. Toto was a final call at $25. No one else has bid, so I'm about to sell those at the same time. First is Donnie Moore on DB, Dueling Banjos. That's sold to Donnie Moore. Alan Jonathan wants Breakfast at Tiffany's. Sold Enough's Enough and Hollywood Raw. Let me figure out what that one is. That was this one and Enough's Enough 10. Now I've got you. So Brenda, I think I've got you down for a Hollywood Raw, Enough's Enough 10, and a Toronto Live. So I've got you down for 3 records out of that crate. 2 LA Guns and Enough's Enough. So both of those are Brenda Medina's. I'm about to end these auctions. The Rocky Horror Picture Show. Audience participation record. EX Condition, $19.99. Soundgarden, the A-Sides, is a 2 LP compilation, $32.99. $32.99. Eels, End Times, VG Plus $21.99 with bonus 7-inch single. VG Plus $21.99. Never Gonna Give You Up. Wow. What in the world? EX $14.99. That's a 12-inch single with different mixes. Chuck Berry's Golden Hits is EX $21.99. What was the Dr. John? That was a new release from the previous bin. I'll just leave this out of the crate. I have a feeling somebody's going to buy it at some point. I figured we'd already sold it by now. It's called High Priest of Psychedelic Voodoo. Yellow, green, and purple vinyl, new release. And what I remember from the blurb is it's pretty much like 3 full albums. Some of his best recordings is what the blurb said. of Dr. John, $49.99, all on colored vinyl. Craig Sweden on Eel, see if you get LA Guns, Tales from the Strip. I ordered everything that I could, so if there was an LA Guns tonight, then it's in stock. Everything else was back ordered, so I've ordered everything that's available for sure. Craig Sweden, first on Eels. That's sold to Craig. Craig Thomas was second. Donnie Moore wants Never Gonna Give You Up. That's sold to Donnie Moore. Rydell Martin, you were second on Rick Astley. Paul Brothers wants the Soundgarden if Craig Ruth passes. So that's sold to Paul Brothers if Craig Ruth passes. And we have auctions are being ended. The sealed Ringo Starr is sold for $20 to David Williams. The Toto Turn Back is sold for $25 to Donnie Moore. Those are both sold. Craig passes on Soundgarden, so the one right up here on top is sold to Paul Brothers. So far, left in this bin is Chuck Berry, Rocky Horror Picture Show, the Blues Brothers, All in the Family, and the Ronald McDonald record. Those are all available. We have some primo auctions tonight in the Japanese department. I've also went through this high-end bin and went through some more stuff. I listened to this album last night. I test played both of these. We listened to the whole albums. So let's put these up for auctions. I had this last night. This is one of those records that have some of that weird, almost like chemical reaction. Let me show you that in what I'm talking about. Some very weird marks. I mean, it looks like some kind of residue almost. You can't feel it, and when you test play it, it just makes like a very inaudible. As loud as I test played this, I couldn't even tell it was there. If y'all can see those marks. I promise you, by playback quality, this sounds really nice. And then if you look at the other parts of the record overall, there's not really any marks on it. So this is a very nice copy of Kiss Dress to Kill. This is an original PRC press. An original PRC press. So, I mean, if you're worried about the visual grade of the vinyl, it's ugly. If you're going to listen to it, it sounds EX plus to near mint minus. It sounds incredible. I was listening to it very loud too. First track, Room Service. $20 start on Dress to Kill. That is an OG PRC press. $20 start on that. I also test played this Yes Songs. Yes Songs. Triple LP. We're going to start this at just $7. Yes Songs, Triple LP. I end up listening to the whole album. $7 start on Yes Songs, Triple LP. No condition notes on that one. VG Plus cover. This has the original inner sleeve with it. Very nice copy of Kiss Dress to Kill. Very nice copy of Kiss Dress to Kill. The Muppet Show is VG Plus $29.99. That's a 1977 US press. National Lampoon's Animal House. EX 1999 Animal House soundtrack. EX 1999. And Stone Temple Pilots MTV Unplugged. That's a purple vinyl unofficial 1999. The Raconteurs live at Third Man Records $16.99. All right, let me go back up to the top and see what I missed. Pass the Hollywood Vampires. 5150 will be auctioned within the next hour. Did Doug give you my message about Stone's bootleg? Carol, it's $150. Dress to Kill is at $30. Yes is at $15. Yes is at $10, $15. Kiss is at $30. Joe Willinger first on the Muppets. That's so to Joe Willinger. John Leal first on Animal House. Yes is at $20. Scott Westskittle, you were second on Animal House. Craig Thomas first to the Raconteurs. Jason Fornerat was second. Jefferson Steele on STP. Neil Brashear was third on Raconteurs. Brent Robley was fourth. Fred Carnell second. Brian Tyler second on STP. We have Queens of the Stone Age, Era Vulgaris, 2009 pressing, $27.99. We're going to sell Carol Puckett, the Stones bootleg Jake, for $125. Let me find it. I had it tagged. I listened to it, Carol. I listened to side one that starts out with "You Can't Always Get What You Want." Now, say that again. Craig Proper, just one person, yeah. Craig Proper on the Brian May. Let me figure out what I've done with that. Here it is. This is sold $125. I looked it up on PopSock. One had slipped through on eBay back in April and sold for $142. So that is sold to Carol Puckett. Make sure that goes in for $125. Thank you. Carol's our Well, I better not say this if Brent's watching, but Carol's our #1 Stones buyer. It's always a competition when we have a Primo Stones item. It's either going to go to Carol or Brent usually. All right, that's $125 sold. Let me grab my Diet Mountain Dew. I'm definitely going to need it tonight at this pace. And Queens of the Stone Age is sold to Neil Brashear. Led Zeppelin will be auctioned after these. It's a $250 start. I'll go ahead and let everybody know. Neil Brashear got Queens of the Stone Age. Ghostbusters original motion picture soundtrack. This is something different though. $21.99. I can't read the hot sticker too well. What does this say? This is some kind of new, different pressing. Includes music from the 2016 blockbuster, featuring new music and more. So that must be from the new Ghostbusters. $21.99 on the Ghostbusters soundtrack. I don't remember that when that scene, when that came out. I don't remember that one too much. Back to the Future, $22.99. That's a 2021 press. Back to the Future, $22.99. Deep Purple, Japanese press of the very best of Deep Purple with Obi, $34.99. Update on our auctions. Dress to Kill is just at $30 with Billy Shears. Final Call, OG Press. Yes is at $15 with Chuck Kuchera. Chuck has that for $15. I've seen All Good People. Your Move. That's the side I listened to it in the wrong order. I started out with that because that's my favorite side. $15 on that, $30 on Dress to Kill. Final Call on those. The Shags. Shags Own Thing. Sealed, $24.99. If you didn't know about the Shags, this is one of the worst albums of all time. Highly collectible, $24.99. And Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Christmas Eve and Other Stories. This is sealed. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Target Red Vinyl exclusive, just $24.99 for Trans-Siberian Orchestra, $24.99. And we have Filter, Short Bus. Filter is $26.99. Sealed Craft Recording, $26.99. Sealed Craft Recording. Yes is at $20, new bid. Final Call on Dress to Kill for $30. Brian C. gets the Shags. That's sold to Brian C. Jake Clegg wants TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That's sold to Jake Clegg. Brent Alverson was second. John Leal first on Filter. Alice, you were next on TSO. Brian Tyler, you were second to Filter. Joe was third. Craig was fourth. Rob was fifth. Sherry was next on TSO. Chris was next on Filter. New bid on Kiss for $35. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. Elmo and Patsy, $14.99. Kiss or Deep Purple was Near Mint and Pristine. Your typical Near Mint and Pristine Japanese pressing of Deep Purple, $34.99. Kiss is now at $40. The Pink Panther, the original, Henry Mancini, $19.99 on the Pink Panther soundtrack. Mouse Rat, the awesome album from Parks and Recreation. This is music from Parks and Recreation, $19.99. That sounds pretty interesting. Nothing in Common soundtrack, $14.99. Thompson Twins, Aretha Franklin, The Kinks, Nick Hayward, Christopher Cross, Richard Marx, all on there. Brent Alverson on Pink Panther. And Brian Miller says he'll take Deep Purple. Chris was second on Pink Panther. And James Rayner wants Nothing in Common. Now we just need someone to take Mouse Rap. Next is the Electric Mayhem. Looks like a Sesame Street record. $22.99. Clear purple with blue swirl. Let's see what that looks like. Whoa. That's a tripped out looking Muppet Studio Walt Disney Productions Sesame Street looking record. That's sold to Sherry Martell. All right. Let me take a deep breath. Update our auctions. Kiss. Billy Shears has this for $40. By the way, if you can hear me, the feed is evidently, the comment section is very messed up. I don't think people can see comments. So if you're going to bid on something, I hope that you can hear me and you're paying attention to the embedded feed. See where my hand's going up and down? That's what's messed up with the feed right now. So pay close attention. Jared Benoit is at 45 on Kiss. That's at 45, so Billy Shears, you're out. And we did have a new bid on Yes Songs. Yes Songs was at 20 with Paul Brothers. Everybody else is out. Billy Shears is back in on Kiss at 50. Jared, you're out. No new claims until we get to Stone Temple Pilots number 4, $29.99. That's a music on vinyl press. STP number 4, $29.99. The Rancantors, Help Us Stranger, $22.99. The official music of the 1984 Olympiad in Los Angeles, $9.99. Lots of people on STP. John Leal was first. No, Neil Brashear, he put number 4. Neil Brashear was first on that. Neil and then John. So Neil Brashear gets STP. John was second, then Arm Lozelle, then Greg, then Brian, then James, and then Jeremiah. Kiss Out. Sarah Long wants PSTP. PSTP was. Is that something still in the bin, or am I missing an abbreviation? George Ellis next on STP, and then John Stevens first to Rancantors. So I can give the Rancantors to John Stevens, and there was a lot of people on STP. A lot of people. Okay. That was that was STP as well. Gotcha. Someone claimed Mouse. Did I miss that? Mouse, Jeff Dedman. Let's go ahead and pull that. Next comment, Jeff Dedman on Mouse. That's so did Jeff Dedman. So let me clear up that first. Kiss was at 45. Kiss was at 50. And then STP went to Neil Brashear. And then here's the order on the rest that appeared on my phone. Neil got it, then John, then Arm Lozelle, Greg Preston, Brian Tyler, James Cohort, Jeremiah Lewis, Sarah Long, George Ellis, Jamie Butler. And the next was the Rancantors, went switched to John Stevens. Autumn, you were second. Bob Potato Sticks takes the Grandma Got Run Over by the Reindeer. That's sold to Bob P. And we're caught up. We're on a final call on Yes for $20. And Jared Benoit, let me know if you're in or out on Kiss. He says he's out. He already said that. So Billy Shears has Kiss for $50, and that's a final call. Insights on the presidency from presidents himself. There he is. JFK. $14.99. A profile of the presidency. This is from Ford Motor Company. $14.99. Ford Motor Company. Angela Lansbury, a winner hop sticker for the Grammy Best Score of an Original Cast Show album, $9.99. There he is, John Fitzgerald Kennedy, a memorial album, $14.99. Brent Robley wants the presidency record from Ford. That's sold to Brent Robley. Ghostbusters, this is the original Ghostbusters soundtrack, Walmart exclusive, marshmallow colored vinyl, $22.99. $22.99. The Forrest Gump soundtrack, only $22.99. That is absolute theft at that price. Forrest Gump, blue and red vinyl. Jill Preston gets Ghostbusters. John Leal gets Forrest Gump. Those are both sold. We have original motion picture soundtrack to Dragnet, $19.99 on Dragnet. And Conan O'Brien live at Third Man Records. Wow. Conan O'Brien, $16.99. And we also have Stone Temple Pilots, self-titled, $19.99. Stone Temple Pilots, self-titled. Holy moly. I feel like when I go back through this crate a second time, there's not going to be anything left. We haven't done this in a long time. We may sell an entire crate. First thing I need is some Diet Mountain Dew. All right, so the last thing I claimed was Forrest Gump, which went to John Leal. Eric was second, then Sherry, then James, then Joseph, then Sarah. And then Jeff McMaster got STP. Jeff McMaster got STP. That's going on top of Forrest Gump. Craig was second. Autumn Betts gets Conan O'Brien. That's sold to Autumn Betts. Brian Tyler next on STP. Then Vernon Lehman, then David Polkey, and then Scott Westskittle. Wow. Okay. We have Yes Songs sold to Paul Brothers for $20. Yes Songs is sold to Paul Brothers for $20. And Billy Shears gets Dressed to Kill for $50. Billy Shear gets Dressed to Kill for $50. Those are sold for $20 and $50. First new record, one more time. A Very Merry McBirthday from Ronald McDonald. VG Plus, $24.99. 1983 Kid Stuff Records. Now, everybody needs a copy of that or you don't have a record collection. Holy gracious. Ronald McDonald, 1983, VG Plus, $24.99. Now, to balance out Ronald McDonald, we're going to put up for auction one of the greatest rock albums of all time. I listened to this 3 times. I'm probably going to listen to it again tonight because anytime we get an RL press, by the way, it is 8 o'clock, right? Pretty close to the dot when I said I was going to auction this off. Let me tell you about the grade first before I get to any more details. This record will look like a VG copy and it plays like a VG Plus copy. That's the most important thing to know because if you look up this exact variant, about the first 5 on Discogs are good, good plus. I think there's one on there listed that doesn't even have a jacket and it says good plus and they want $55 for it. One of them is VG minus with heavy, deep, feelable marks. This gets very expensive if it's near mint. This is about a VG plus. During the quiet songs like Thank You and in between tracks, you will hear crackle and pop. I'm not saying by no means this is a dead quiet record. But first, you need to know this is an early 1969 press of Led Zeppelin II. It's not a first press. The first press in the Dead Wax will have the Robert Ludwig cuts will have RLSS on both sides. It was actually cut so hot that it caused problems with tracking and they recalled it. This is still an early 69 press with Lee Holko engineering on side 2 and it sounds just as incredible. This is a $250 start. So side 1 has RLSS and side 2 has LHSS for Lee Holko, which was a German mastering engineer, kind of like Robert Ludwig. Very great sounding record. I don't know if the video I posted did justice because it was playing so loud my iPhone camera couldn't pick it up. I don't want to read all this, but I posted it when I did the hot post. This basically tells you the quick information. I'm going to leave this with whoever buys it. So, you know, the president of Atlantic, Amit Ertegun, bought a copy for his daughter. It skipped on her turntable, so he had it recut to be less dynamic and fleshed out with the bass. And that's the reissues that you see later that don't have RL or Lee Holko matrix. Now, these are reviews from Discogs where people left reviews, and basically these people saying, if you buy a copy of this, it's a bargain compared to what other RLs sell for because the Lee Holko cuts sound just as good. And they do. These are both RLSS. And if they don't have the SS on it, that is a reissue, by the way. So Led Zeppelin II, $250 start. I really don't care about selling it because it's a nice play copy. I mean, it sounds incredible. When you first listen to Whole Lotta Love and you hear Robert Plant say, You Need Cooling, it sounds incredible. That is an RL. Side 1 is RLSS, so that's one of the original hot mixes on side 1. $250 start on that. Overall, a VG Plus playback. Brenda Medina gets the Ronald McDonald record. That's sold to Brenda Medina. All in the Family, Archie Bunker, VG Plus $14.99. This has the insert with it as well. All in the Family, VG Plus $14.99, 1971. Blues Brothers is in shrink wrap, VG Plus $19.99. The Blues Brothers, a briefcase full of blues. That's in shrink wrap. So All in the Family, Blues Brothers, Rocky Horror Picture Show, audience participation record, EX $19.99. Chuck Berry's Golden Hits, EX $21.99. The newest Ghostbusters soundtrack, that was $21.99, still in shrink wrap with that original hop sticker. Back to the Future is $22.99. That's a 2021 press. Music of the 1984 Olympics, $9.99. Angela Lansbury and what's the name of the film? Or as Mammy. Angela Lansbury as Mammy, original Broadway cast in shrink wrap and hop sticker, $9.99. JFK is $14.99, and Dragnet soundtrack is $19.99. That's all that's left in there. That's all that's left in there. We're going to go ahead and go to a new crate of vintage stuff while Tanner is still working on the new vinyl from tonight. There was a ton of pre-orders. Lots of lists to key in, etc. Our next crate is going to be a bin of new check condition stuff. There's also some pre-owned kind of modern stuff in here that I think that it's EX condition. So let's see what we have in here. And I also see some shrink wrap and hop sticker on some check condition stuff, which is usually some pretty good bargains. So Let's go through here and see what we have. Let's go ahead and start going through our next auctions. Led Zeppelin 2 is a $250 start. $250 start on that. RLSSLHSS in the dead wax. I'm going to go ahead and start with the stuff that I listened to, which I listened to this last night, and it sounds incredible. This is the Beatles' Hey Jude. Hey Jude is a $55 start. $55 start. This is all the Beatles' unreleased B-side singles. None of these tracks appeared on any albums. If you're going to collect the Beatles LPs, you got to have this one because most of these tracks were never released, or none of them were released on any of the Beatles' original studio albums, such as this right here, Paperback Writer, Rain, those great singles they released, B-sides and singles that was not put on albums. Lady Madonna, Revolution, Hey Jude. The song Hey Jude, not released on any of the Beatles studio albums. That is superb quality too. Nice Obi, the original die-cut Apple Obi. $55 start on that to Brent Alverson. Price on Rocky Horror Picture Show. That was $19.99, I believe. $19.99, yes. $19.99, Laura Youngblood. If you want it, just say sold. All right, let's see what's in this next crate. If the Bomb Falls. This goes along with your Oppenheimer soundtrack. VG Plus, $19.99. This is a 1961 public service announcement. This is real. This isn't like some kind of spoof. This is actually a survival record you listen to be prepared if a nuclear bomb was to drop. 1961. That's sold to Toby Grimm. Paul Brothers is at $250 on Led Zeppelin. The Beatles is at $56. Laverne and Shirley, we had one of those the other night. Laverne and Shirley Sing, EX Condition, $17.99. Let's pull out a Rocky Horror Picture Show for Laura. Let me go back up to the top. So the Bomb record sold to Toby Grimm, and Laura Youngblood's going to take the Rocky Horror Picture Show. That is sold. Led Zeppelin's at $250. So is Greg Rogers. The Beatles is at $60. Zach Billy, you were second on If the Bomb Falls. Laverne and Shirley was $17.99. Gremlins. This is VG Plus, $19.99 from the Warner Brothers motion picture Gremlins. Music from the motion picture soundtrack, $19.99. Sherry Martell wants Laverne and Shirley. That's sold to Sherry Martell. The Graduate soundtrack is VG, $9.99. The Graduate soundtrack. The Charlie Daniels Band, A Decade of Hits. VG Plus condition, $14.99. Charlie Daniels Band, that is Charlie Daniels' greatest hits. Darren Wortman first on the Gremlins, and Donnie Moore first on the Graduate. High bid on Led Zeppelin's $270. High bid on the Beatles is at $60. And Rebecca Barber is first on Charlie Daniels. David Tate was second. So Mumford & Sons is $19.99. I was about to put up a new auction, but there's two already going on. I don't know why I was about to do that. But Mumford & Sons is $19.99. I'm going to put away Dr. John so I can keep up with all of our new vinyl. We really almost swapped out that first crate of new vinyl. There's a lot of different stuff in there. Okay, first we have a lot of people watching, and I think a lot of new people since I shared this ad. And we actually have a Facebook ad going right now. If you're watching for the first time, it may seem very chaotic because this is a busy night. But if you see anything you want, you just got to comment and you've got to be first. Some of these records I'm going to show, there's going to be 2, 3, maybe 7 people try to get them all at the same time. Whoever pops up first on my phone is who gets it. Now these auctions back here, unlimited time. We don't sell it till anybody, till everybody's done bidding is what I'm trying to say. And that's how our auctions work. I'll update those in just a second. Mumford & Sons was $19.99. Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention, VG, $19.99. VG, $19.99. Frank Zappa and the Mothers of Invention. Mumford & Sons was EX. And Lifers, local. That is EX, $29.99. Blood red vinyl. So if you're first and you buy something, we will recognize you're a first-time buyer, and then we'll give you instructions. We do $7 unlimited shipping. Very easy to buy from us. Would you call Led Zeppelin 1 a strong VG+? I would say when you're listening to it, it's one of those that, you know, with the loud songs, yes, they sound incredible. In between tracks and the quiet, it's going to sound like, I don't want to call it a strong VG plus. I'm going to say VG plus on that one. But like during Whole Lot of Love, Heartbreaker, even Ramble On, and then the parts that's not quiet on What Is and What Should Never Be, those sound really good. You can't tell that there's any noise. The noise is well overpowered by far. Now, Thank You and the quiet parts in between tracks, there's definitely some noise. Just FYI. I still highly recommend it. I listened to it 3 times to tell you how good of a listening experience it was. I played it 3 times. The Lemon song sounds incredible. The bass and everything in it. This is a very, very good mix of this record, as people have figured that out. Over the years, people have figured out that this record is really good sounding, thus the demand over the last 5 or 10 years. Okay, Ed Adamowicz, you asked about Mumford & Sons. Ed, you asked about Mumford & Sons. This is EX 1999. Ed, if you don't want it, it's sold to Jeff McMaster. And then Jared was third to ask about it. Led Zeppelin's at 28. Mike Massey wants Local H. That's sold to Mike Massey. Craig Ruth was second. And Jared, you were third on Mumford unless Ed and Jeff passes. The Beatles is a final call. The Beatles' Hey Jude is at $60 with Brent Alverson. This is a super nice copy. Final call at $60. Final call on that. The Linda Lindas, a VG copy, $17.99, blue and green vinyl. It has a fillable mark on side B. That is $17.99. Ivan, I was waiting for the Villa Venetios to show up. Ivan's at $65 on the Beatles. Ed passes on Mumford & Sons, so the Mumford & Sons does go to Jeff McMaster. Led Zeppelin, a 1972 Presswell VG copy, $24.99. Led Zeppelin's a VG copy for $24.99. Okay, so that's got a new bid, but let me update from top to bottom on what we have here with Led Zeppelin, because Greg is at $280. Paul Brothers is going to let us know if he's in or out. Greg Rogers has it for $280. This is an early press. It is a 1969 RLSS, and side 2 is the Lee Holko mastering. 1969, what you would call the hot mix. Now, some people say technically the Lee Holko side's not a hot mix, but there is now, a lot of information from Bob Lugwood saying the Sterling, anything coming from Sterling is all the same hot mix. Just some of them have the RL side notes that, what was the subtle variances. So, and that's true. Of course, the RLSS, no debate, is a more expensive copy because that is a true first press. But if you listen to an LHSS, it still sounds incredible. Heartbreaker sounds very, very good. Of course, as you can tell, I'm a Led Zeppelin fan, so I'm excited anytime we get one of these in. I've also ultrasonically cleaned it, and I've hand cleaned it, so it's about as good as it's going to get. The Beatles, 65, Beatles, 67, Rhonda first to Led Zeppelin. Mike Massey gets the Linda Lindas. The Beatles is at 72 with Brent. Pamela was at 70. Led Zeppelin's at 300. Get the Knack, VG copy, $9.99. Get the Knack. I think y'all remember we've had some RLSSs before here. We've sold some for over $1,000. Those that are very close to near mint condition. They demand a lot of money, the true first pressings of that. KC and the Sunshine Band, EX 1799. This has the company inner sleeve with lyrics, EX 1799 on KC. Elton John's Greatest Hits. This is a U.S. pressing. We're going to be auctioning a Japanese pressing later. VG plus 1799 on that. The Beatles is at now 77. John Leal wants King Crimson. Paul Brothers is at 300 on Led Zeppelin. Gary Glitter, the leader. Gary Glitter is VG plus 1499. Jefferson Starship, Freedom at .0, VG plus 1499. That has Jane on it. Michael Jackson Thriller. That one looks pretty weird. Looks kind of greenish. Looks like a radioactive Thriller. VG, $12.99. That one's just $12.99 for a VG copy of Thriller. Inagata Davida by Iron Butterfly. That's a VG copy for $9.99. And Peter Frampton Comes Alive, VG plus $19.99. VG plus $19.99. John DeZarco, first on Michael Jackson. Let's also go ahead and pull Iron Butterfly for Rhonda Drar. And the Elton John Chad Elton John is VG plus $17.99. VG plus $17.99. The frames, longitude. The frames is EX condition, $16.99. So the high bid on the Beatles is now, or excuse me, the high bid on Led Zeppelin is now $300. That's going twice, going 3 times on that. Oh, let me make one disclaimer. I don't want somebody to peel this off when they get it and they went, what the heck? It does have some other writing here on the cover. Let me make sure Greg and Paul are aware of that. It does have some writing here on the cover. I'm assuming most of y'all are bidding because of the vinyl. If you could upgrade this jacket, that's really the only thing wrong with it. I really hadn't said anything about the jacket. It's very nice. It's about VG or VG Plus, probably VG with the writing, but the actual jacket is VG Plus. Just want to let you know. You might want to just leave that on there. It makes it look better. Hot Mix Early Press from '69. Also, the inner sleeve, if this matters to you. This is technically an Atlantic inner sleeve, even though it's Atco. Atco was a subsidiary of Atlantic. This is what was in it when we got it. It shouldn't be this. It should be an Atlantic inner sleeve unless at the factory they used an Atco inner sleeve, which this is from around '69. I see Buffalo, Springfield, Cream, all these other albums from that era. So that's the correct error inner sleeve, but it should be Atlantic if those matter to you. Greg's at $320 on that. The Beatles is at $85. The Beatles is at $85. Next is Zenyatta Mondada, The Police. Wow, I've never seen that before. It's a die-cut, dee-doo-da-da 12-inch single or 10-inch picture disc. $19.99 from The Police. What's the B-side? Don't Stand So Close to Me. I've never seen that before. The Police. That's really cool. That's sold to Craig Johnson. Led Zeppelin's at $320 and the Beatles is at $85. Now $87. Herman's Hermits 15 Greatest Hits. EX $12.99. Mrs. Brown, You've Got a Lovely Daughter. I'm Henry VIII, I Am. Here's their best song, I'm Into Something Good. That's what I think's their best song. EX $12.99. The Greatest Songs of Woody Guthrie. VG Plus, $12.99. Earth, Wind & Fire, Shrink Wrap and Hop Sticker. VG Plus on the vinyl, $14.99, featuring September. And Shining Star, No Matter Who You Are. VG Plus, $14.99. Chad gets the Elton John's Greatest Hits from earlier. That's sold to Chad Van Horn. David Polkey wants the greatest songs of Woody Guthrie. That's sold to David Polkey. Brent Alverson was second. And Rich Russo are an Earth, Wind & Fire. That's sold to Rich Russo. All right, so Paul Brothers, ball's back into your court on the grail of Led Zeppelin albums, one of them. There's about, I consider the grail of Led Zeppelin albums the first press of the first album, the Turquoise, which is insanely rare. If that's a grail of Led Zeppelin 2, I would guess. I guess a side grail. Very good sounding record, I'll just tell you that. $320 on Led Zeppelin. The Beatles, $85, $87, $90. And we have Arlo Guthrie's Alice's Restaurant, a VG copy for $9.99. We also have a chunk of the cover missing here. VG $9.99. VG $9.99. The Lion King soundtrack. This is on brown vinyl, just $27.99. A lot less cheaper than the new orange UK pressings. $27.99. That's on brown colored vinyl with the inner sleeve. That's $27.99. Pamela is at $90 on the Beatles. Brent says he's out. Paul's out on Led Zeppelin. I think we have found our high bidders. Let's do some final calls. The near mint minus and pristine copy of Hey Jude. It's actually called, let's see what the label says. Well, they call it Hey Jude here. The U.S. pressings, it's called something different on the label, but we know it as Hey Jude. That's a Japanese pressing. That's at $90. Superb copy. I listened to it. Final call. And then Led Zeppelin 2. Looks like that's going to go to Greg Rogers for $320. Final call on that. Paul Brothers on the Lion King. Paul Brothers on the Lion King. Paul says out, but I will take the Lion King. I Eat Kids and Other Songs for Rebellious Children. Barry Louis Polisar. EX $19.99. That looks pretty strange. $19.99. John Denver's Greatest Hits. VG $9.99. Country Roads Take Me Home. VG $9.99. Steppenwolf for ladies only. VG Plus $14.99. Steppenwolf for ladies only. And the original TV soundtrack, check this out. Yogi Bear and Boo Boo from Hanna-Barbera. VG minus $9.99. This is kind of beat up like most of these children's records are from this era. Is it? I was about to say, did it? I don't know if like... Is this like been colored with a crayon, or was it made to look like that? I was about to do a smell test on it, see if it smelled like crayon, but I think it's just made like that. It looks like though a kid literally colored that, but I think it's made that way. $9.99 on that one. And Disney Acapella, or Disney Capella. Disney Capella, Rockin' Holiday. That's EX $9.99. That's a Barnes & Noble exclusive on green vinyl. John Nazarko on JD, which is John Denver. That's sold to John Nazarko. Brian Tyler wants the Yogi Bear. We have Jared Leber on Steppenwolf. I messed that all up. Nick Leber on Steppenwolf. Jared Benoit was asking me questions. All right. Joe Willinger wants the D Capella. I guess that's how you say that. Or was you helping me there, Joe, or was you claiming it? If so, it's so to you. And then Autumn Betts wants Eat Kids. All right, Led Zeppelin 2 is sold for $320. Greg and Joy. I'm a Led Zeppelin fan, for sure. I was reading their biography, Hammer of the Gods, like in elementary school, I think. Anytime I get a copy of this, I cherish it because it's such a great sounding record. All right, and I've got it in here. I've got it in an anti-static for you. I've also got all the information from Discogs. You can take this to show and tell at work and read this to everybody, and they'll look at you like you're crazy. This is sold for $320 to Greg Rogers. Also, the Beatles is sold for $90 to Pamela Villavanice show. Joe Willinger said he did want that, so all those were claimed. And let's go ahead and start our next auctions. I'll listen to this one too. By the way, if you're waiting for something and you've got to go, let me know if you saw anything in the hot picture. I posted 16 hot pictures. Let me know, and we'll show some of those. I'm going to put up Bruce Hornsby because I listened to that. And I listened to, what else did I listen to? Elton John's Greatest Hits. We'll do these two next. So, all right, Bruce Hornsby and The Range, The Way It Is. Now, what was the question from Jared? How the Led Zeppelin remasters, other pressings? Well, there's no comparison to a Robert Ludwig cut. The Robert Ludwig cuts, you can't replicate that. That was a time in history. I don't think if those could ever be replicated. The Led Zeppelin masters do exist, but I think the way that was made, I don't know if that could ever be replicated. Now, the remasters do sound good, mostly because they're quiet. That's what I like about Pink Floyd remasters, Led Zeppelin remasters. When you put them on, there's no noise, so you're not going to get any distortion from any kind of marks or imperfections. Bruce Hornsby and The Range, that's just the way it is. This is another phenomenally sounding record. Now, Tanner will probably agree. We were listening to some of these pretty loud, right, Tanner? Tanner, I play music very loud, and the system we have up here with these clip speakers and this Macintosh amp we're using. Nope, I swapped out amps. I don't have the Mac up here anymore, but we have some clip speakers. These sound incredible. $35 start when the piano hits on that one. Very good. And Elton John's Greatest Hits. Elton John's Greatest Hits. This is a $45 start. Also near mint and pristine Japanese vinyl. Of course, if I get an opportunity to listen to this, I'm going to listen to it. This is a $45 start. Elton John's Greatest Hits. It has the inner sleeve. It has the booklet. It has the cover of Obi. Now, I will say the Obi is detached. It's technically ripped. You can't, if you put it in a jacket, it will stay like this and it will look like that, but it is detached. It is detached. So, there you have it. Elton John's Greatest Hits. Next is, let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. 5150. Liam, I'll work on that very quickly. We'll put 5150 on deck. How about that? We'll put 5150 on deck. So, compared to MoFi Led Zeppelin 2, the Robert Ludwig is definitely the winner. That's for sure the winner. It's better than the MoFi. The Japanese pressings are really good, the OG Japanese pressings. Bruce Hornsby, 35. Elton John, 45. And was there another something in there? Digital. Yes, all the new Led Zeppelins are cut from digital masters. They haven't used original analog Zeppelin stuff since those. There is another thing that I've never had before. It's called the classic. What's those called? They're very expensive, though. They're hundreds of dollars, too. The classic album remasters. What are those called? They're audiophile records. They're very expensive Led Zeppelin records. That's one of the definite versions of Led Zeppelin 2 and Led Zeppelin 1. Somebody knows what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments. It's called the Classic Reissue. Those are very expensive, though. Okay, back to the bin. The very best of the very best of Hank Williams. I got Led Zeppelin on my mind. The very best of Hank Williams, VG Plus $14.99. This is in shrink wrap, VG Plus $14.99. The very best of Hank Williams Sr. Andy Williams Greatest Hits, EX $9.99. Andy Williams Greatest Hits, EX $9.99. Village People, Macho Man, VG copy, $9.99. Van Halen, a VG copy of their self-titled debut album, $24.99. VG copy, $24.99 for Van Halen. And Three Dog Night Golden Biscuits, VG Plus, $11.99. This does have part of the cover missing. It had a perforated slip. That is missing. VG Plus, $11.99. Okay, Bruce Hornsby, 35. Elton John, 45. Going once, going twice. Classic Records. Yes, there's a company called Classic Records. That was, I think, one of the last cuts of Led Zeppelin done in analog. Those are very desirable. They're very expensive. I hope that UHQR, Analog Productions, get a hold of the Zeppelin Masters. That's the big rumor, but that's a big deal if they're able to do that. Craig Ruth on Van Halen. That's sold to Craig Ruth. And we have James Taylor's Greatest Hits, EX $16.99 on James Taylor's Greatest Hits, EX $16.99. So obviously a lot of different versions of Led Zeppelin too. If you go to Discogs, I think there's 915 different pressings. And I think that includes CDs and cassettes. But there's 915 different ways you can listen to Led Zeppelin 2. That's a lot. That's a lot of entries for an album. Ravi Shankar, Transmigration Macabre. What's this say? Macabre, maybe. Ravi Shankar, though, is EX $16.99. That is a promo copy. It has a promo label. Royal Blood, EX $22.99. Royal Blood Typhoons, EX $22.99. The Rolling Stones Hot Rocks, VG Plus $27.99. This is not the one John Young is looking for. We have a sticker on the back. This is not the one John Young's looking for. VG Plus $27.99. I think Paul's looking for that copy too. There's a side 4 of Hot Rocks that has a different cut of a certain song. It sounds completely different. Rockwell, Somebody's Watching Me, featuring Michael Jackson on Somebody's Watching Me in the backup vocals. VG $9.99. And Queens of the Stone Age, Like Clockwork, EX Condition, $24.99. Queens of the Stone Age. So Craig got Van Halen. New bid on Elton John, 50. New claim, Eric Fisher wants Royal Blood Typhoons. That's sold to Eric Fisher. Elton John's at 51. David Polkey wants Rockwell. John Lill gets Queens of the Stone Age. Elton John, 54. Patty second on Queens of the Stone Age and Neil third. I think I can go ahead and do a final call on Bruce Hornsby in the Range. Brent Alverson has that for 35. Final call. Great sounding record, near mint and pristine. The Pretenders is EX $17.99. Yeah, this is not the droids you're looking for. This is not the Hot Rocks you're looking for, but don't let that distract you. It's still a VG Plus copy for just $27.99. It is Blue London, probably an earlier press of the best Rolling Stones compilation you can get. The OG, when I think of Stones comps, I know they have 500 different ones, but this is the go-to, Hot Rocks, VG Plus $27.99. And Steve Martin, a wild and crazy guy, is EX $17.99, and this does include the photo. EX $17.99. There's Steve Martin. Gatefold, $17.99. That was a bin of check condition. We've got new vinyl ready, but we also got new releases. I want to go through the crate also at some point of the records that I went through from that high-end bin. I listed half of them on Discogs, and then the other half I changed all the prices and got them where it's like a final call. It's some stuff that I didn't want to sell. My phone disappeared. I hope you got it, Tanner. Otherwise, it just disappeared in the thin air. Tanner is tagging some records right quick off my feed. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pull our next auctions as soon as I drink some Diet Mountain Dew. That's delicious. I've been going to Jersey Mike's. First time ever in my life, like last week. Now I'm addicted, mostly because they have Diet Mountain Dew. And it's getting harder to find Diet and Mountain Dew out of a fountain, which I think is absolutely delicious. But it's hard to find it. Taco Bell got rid of it, and I was like, what the heck? Elton John's at 55. Thomas Bowman's out. James Raynard on Steve Martin. Led Zeppelin went for $320. Led Zeppelin went for $320. James got Steve Martin. Soul Collecteds are in. I'm about to show those. All right. One more time on these very quickly. Frank Zappa, One Size Fits All. Paul says this is one of his best releases. That's a VG copy, $19.99. The Knack, My Sharona, VG copy, $9.99. The Leader, Gary Glitter, VG Plus, $14.99. Jefferson Starship, Freedom at .0, VG Plus, $14.99. Frampton Comes Alive, VG Plus, $19.99. The Frames, Longitude, EX, $16.99. Herman's Hermits, 15 Greatest Hits, EX, $12.99. Alice's Restaurant, Arlo Guthrie, VG, $9.99. The Very Best of Hank Williams Sr., in shrink wrap, VG Plus, $14.99. Your Cheating Heart, Hey Good Looking, VG Plus, $14.99. All right, Bruce Hornsby sold for $35 to Brent Alverson. Elton John, who are we at? Thomas is out, and I think Jack was the other bidder. Let's sell this to Jack. He may be our #1 Elton John buyer. That's sold to Jack Suslike for $55. Jack, enjoy that. That's a very good compilation, as you probably well know. Songs on Gary Glitter. Jackie, the one you're looking for, I think, is this one, Rock and Roll Part 1. That's and Rock and Roll Part 2. Yeah, that has the Hey song. I think, yeah. That has the Hey song on it that you're looking for. David Polkey wants Arlo Guthrie. Ron Phillips on Hank Williams Sr. Greatest Hits. Pete Mitchell, you were second on that one. Andy Williams Greatest Hits is EX $9.99. Jackie Reynolds wants the Gary Glitter. We have Village People Macho Man, VG $9.99, and Three Dog Night Golden Biscuit, VG Plus $11.99. All right, it's time for 5150 and Ultimate Sin. I think that's got a couple people on the edge of their seat. Let's pull those out. There's Ultimate Sin. There's 5150. Nice. 2 albums. The reason people on the edge of their seat, not only are they great rock albums, but they've never been reissued. Unless you have bought the Ozzy box set. Let's take a, I forgot it had all the extras with it. Ultimate Sin, I think the last one I started for $95. I'll start this one at $95, but I feel like it should be a $105 start. Just someone go ahead and bid $105 to make me feel better. The vinyl's near mint and pristine. Look at all these Ozzy stickers. Take a look at that one. Mint sticker sheet with it. It also has the insert, Ozzy Ultimate Sin, and it gets even better. Is there something else in there? Oh yeah, it has a solicitation form. There's the insert. $95 start, and it's in shrink wrap, pristine with Obi. Looks like it was just opened, the Ultimate Sin. Ed's at $105 on that. 5150 is a $65 start. Van Halen, 5150, $65 start. This one's going to get a few people excited too. Not only is it near mint and pristine, and it has a solicitation form, I've never seen one with a sticker sheet. Have y'all ever seen a sticker sheet with Van Halen 5150? I know we haven't had one here. I would have remembered that one. Check that out. Now, I wish they replicated these. I bet I could sell the heck out of those. I could sell the heck out of those for $9.99 reprints. That by itself, there would be some people who love to just bid on that. I've never seen that before. We also have the 2-page flip. Van Halen 5150, of course, the first album with Hagar. Love them or hate them. I like the Hagar era. Don't shoot me, but that's some of my favorite Van Halen songs on there. We won't leave. Let's not start an argument, but I think that's a highly sensitive topic. James Taylor's Greatest Hits. No one has bought this yet. EX $16.99. Something in the Way She Moves. Fire and Rain. Sweet Baby James Country Road. You've Got a Friend. I love this song right here. Walking Man. Shower the People. Mexico. Ravi Shankar, EX $16.99. The Pretenders is EX $17.99. And Hot Rocks. Do I have to read the track listing? VG Plus $27.99. Brown Sugar, Wild Horses, Gimme Shelter, Honky Tonk Woman, Satisfaction, Painted Black, Jumpin' Jack Flash, Incredible. Street Fighting Man, Midnight Rambler Live, You Can't Always Get What You Want, Let's Spend the Night Together, Incredible. Mother's Little Helper, 19th Nervous Breakdown, Ruby Tuesday, Get Off My Cloud, Play with Fire, Time Is on My Side. incredible. Heart of Stone, Under My Thumb, Sympathy for the Devil, and As Tears Go By, incredible. All right, let me get to the top of this feed. We had 105 on Ozzy, 95 on Ozzy, 95 on Ozzy, 115 on Ozzy, 65 on Van Halen, 95 on Ozzy, 70 on Van Halen, 70 on Van Halen, 65 on Van Halen, 65 on Van Halen, 65 on Van Halen, 71 on Van Halen, 75 on Van Halen, 75 on Van Halen. Chad Van Horn wants James Taylor. 76 on Van Halen, 82 on Van Halen, 110 on Ozzy. Joe Gabriel wants the Rolling Stones. That's so to Joe Gabriel. And we have Eric Fisher second on the Stones. Final call on this crate. Y'all obliterated that one too. The Pretenders, Ravi Shankar, Three Dog Night, Village People, Andy Williams, Herman's Hermits, The Frames, Frampton, Starship, Knack, and Frank Zappa. I'm going to put those over here with the other records from the very first crate. Let's very quickly, I also have all my auction records in here. Let me recap, or not a recap, let me go through the stuff from that high-end bin that I updated the prices on. So what we do sometimes is when I sit down to either tag stuff to be listed on Discogs for Paul or Seth or whoever puts stuff on Discogs, or last night like I was doing it, if I see something like, well, I don't want to put this on Discogs, I'll just lower the price and show it again. That's what I did with a lot of these. So I'm going to go through these, and then we've got new arrivals. First, this is $19.99. This is a White Album poster. It's the photos from the White Album. I think this is a Capitol, I think this went with the purple Capitol label pressings. It's not 4 individual photos. It's like a poster from the White Album. That's $19.99. I think that went with the purple Capitol pressings from the late 70s maybe. That is $19.99. So that's a vintage, original Beatles White Album poster, probably from the 70s. That is $19.99 if anybody needs that. I randomly found that behind the counter. This was a putback. We didn't realize it had a tear in the shrink. This is OG Elton John Blue Moves with the hype sticker. Sealed Elton John, $44.99 with the hype sticker, but it does have a cut in the shrink wrap. Zach Billy wants the poster. That is from 1978. That's what I thought. By the way, Van Halen's at $93. Van Halen's at $93, and Ozzy is at $110. Jared Benoit has Ozzy for $110. Everybody else is out. Jared Benoit, $110, and Van Halen is at $93 with John Leal. Sealed Elton John. Musical chairs fall on deaf ears. $14.99. That's from 1982. It has a 45 with it, and that is Power Pop New Wave. I also wanted to look up some of these genres. Musical chairs is Power Pop New Wave, $14.99. Arlo Guthrie, White Label Promo, VG Plus Condition, $11.99. Arlo by Arlo Guthrie, White Label Promo, $11.99 VG Plus. $14.99. This is Garage Rock Beat, and that is the D. Watusi Dark Party, $14.99 on that. Also, Elkland, that was a 12-inch single from 2005, $6.99. That is House Synth Pop Indie Rock. That's what Elkland is. The Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl, $24.99 on that. Very nice copy. The Blackheart Procession and Soulbakken, that's 2004 from Holland, $14.99. John Prine, 1974 Richmond Press, VG Plus, $39.99. Virgin Fugs is a 1967 U.S. press, $19.99, 67 U.S. John Mayall, Empty Rooms, $19.99, Red Polydor. Electin is a 1968 Allentown, that is Psych Folk Rock, $19.99 on Electin, just $19.99. Who, the F-U-C-K, that's a 1982 The Who Unofficial Live, $39.99. Navasota, Rootin'. Navasota is actually Southern Rock. It's a White Label promo from 1972. That is $19.99. Horse Lips, Happy to Meet You, $19.99. Folk Rock is what Horse Lips is. That's a 1973 Atco Presswell press, $19.99. Neil Brashear on Elect, and he also wants the Navasota. Those are both sold to Neil Brashear. Update on our auctions. We had Van Halen 94 with Brent Alverson, Ozzy 115, Ozzy 115, Ozzy 115, Ozzy 120, Ozzy 125. Neil got those two. Paul McCartney, that's a U.S. Apple, 1999. Jack White, I've reduced that to $59.99. Jack White is sealed live at Third Man Records, 2012. Buy it now, or that's definitely going to go on Discogs. Elvis, the Moody Blue album, that is sealed. $49.99. That's sealed Moody Blue. on blue vinyl, $49.99. Patty K wants the Jack White. That's sold to Patty K. J. Cole is $39.99, 2015, 180 gram. $39.99 for J. Cole, 2014 Forest Hill Drive. EX, $44.99. I reduced the price on Circa Survive, Blue Sky Noise. Circa Survive is EX, $44.99, 2010. The Third Man Singles Collection is now $39.99. 2012 Black, White, and Yellow Vinyl, $39.99. Karen Elson, live at Third Man Records, $24.99. That is sealed. And Mary J. Blige, My Life. Mary J. Blige is $24.99. The Who is a live unofficial from 1982. The Who is Who, the F-U-C-K. I obviously can't say that live here, but that's what it says. It's a 1982 unofficial, $39.99. Rebecca Barber wants to Mary J. Blige. All right, the Japanese are what? This is everything we got to auction tonight. Maybe I was going to put Tycoon up for $1 start. I'm going to show these again now that I have more information about them. I've got more information about these, and then here's our auctions. Billy Joel, the Beatles, the Police, Iron Maiden, King Crimson, Elvis, the Beatles, the Beatles, the Beatles, Allman Brothers, Genesis, the Police, and Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign. Those are all our Japanese auctions tonight. Autumn Betts wants the Karen Elson. Troy Robinson wants J. Cole. J. Cole, those are all sold. So anybody else in this bin, we have Third Man Records, Circa Survive, Elvis, McCartney, Horse Lips, The Who, John Mayall, Virgin Fugs, John Prine, Blackheart Possession, The Beatles, Elkland, D. Watusi, Arlo, Musical Chairs, and then the sealed Elton John. Iron Maiden. I have not looked at it, John, but I'll tell you what, we'll auction it very soon. I'll put that up for auction very soon. Do we have new vinyl left? That was Iron Maiden self-titled. Iron Maiden self-titled. Brian Tyler says he'll take the Who unofficial unless Chris Crowley wants it. We'll see who wants that. Let me check those right quick. Let me figure out what I've done with Who. This is sold to Chris Crowley. If not, it goes to Brian Tyler. Okay, so back up to the top. Patty got Jack White. Rebecca got Mary J. Blige. Autumn got Karen Elson. Troy got J. Cole. I will show Bathory in just a second. Troy wanted Mary J. Blige. That's already sold. Iron Maiden self-titled. Iron Maiden self-titled. Ozzy 135. And let me do a final call on our auctions. So we have our sheets and records ready over here. Yeah. This green crate. We'll show this short little green crate first. Or I'll do this larger crate. We can cover more ground with this larger crate. All right. And we got, Tanner's already got my sheet up here. Great. All right. So let's do a final call on these auctions. We have Ozzy at 135 of Joe Gabriel. Let me show this one more time. This is a Japanese press of Ozzy, The Ultimate Sin. High bid is $135. You can still bid. Plenty of time. The cover's in shrink wrap with Obi. Very, very nice. There's the sleeve, the protective sleeve. That really doesn't mean a too lot. But this is the original inner sleeve with lyrics. It does have the stickers. It does have the stickers. And I know a lot of people can't see comments right now, so you're relying on me to call the bids. Here in a minute, when I get going a little bit better, I can call out bids as soon as I see them. And of course, you know the vinyl is going to be near mint and pristine. 136 on Ozzy, now 140. So 136 on Ozzy, and now 140. Van Halen, 5150. Also, near mint and pristine. It has the inner sleeve, and here is the kind of the treasure with this one. It has the sticker insert with it. Unpeeled stickers. I wish they would have put those in the U.S. pressings. That'd be really cool. Van Halen is at 94 with Brent Alverson. 94 is the high bid on Van Halen. So 5150, $94 going once, going twice. The vinyl's near mint and pristine. This is $94. Ozzy is at 150. Van Halen's at 96. This was a huge seller. I didn't realize the demand until I started posting the pre-order. Extreme 3. 3 sides to every story. First time this has been repressed in a long time. $46.99 Extreme. Here's the pre-order. Dwayne Sevilla, Richard Davis, Sarah Morgan, Shane Berry, Terry Myers, Danny Zard, James Jackson, Andy Wade, Rob Scheffler, Bill Walton, Kyle Gregory, Eric Beck, Nick Pullen, Jay Condi, John Burlingame, John Smotes, James Cohorn, Chris Jones, Marco Martinez, Jason Ross, Tommy Green, Andrew Erickson, Jamie Butler, Todd Tipton, Michael Thrower, Thomas O'Brien, Matt Algram, Robert Ramirez, David Polkey, Jason McCobb, Keith Petit, and Greg Hagewood. That is extreme, $46.99. I've got 3 extra copies. One sold to John Leal, one sold to Vernon Lehman, and I've got one left. Next is another new release. First time this has, I think, been reissued for the, first time ever on vinyl. First time ever on vinyl. Puddle of Mud, Life on Display. That's also $46.99. New release for Music on Vinyl. Puddle of Mud, Life on Display. Eli Tomlinson, Jerry Stone, Chris DeMoss, Dwayne Sevilla, Stacy Brown, Heather Perry, John Stotts, Todd Tipton, John Smotes, and Greg Hagewood. I've got 2 extra copies. Puddle of Mud, Life on Display. Available on vinyl for the first time. Ozzy's at $160 and Van Halen's at $100. Ed Adamowicz is at $100 on Van Halen 5150, near mint and pristine, inner sleeve, insert, and the sticker sheet. Ozzy's at $165 with Joe Gabriel. $165 with Joe Gabriel. Extreme Puddle of Mud. This is a new compilation. They did Motown Collected, volumes 1 and 2. Now they've done Soul Collected. Very good. Maybe we can get a track listing for this if Craig doesn't mind to do that for us. Soul Collected is $46.99. Music on Vinyl, limited to 2,000 on yellow and orange colored vinyl. Music by Curtis Mayfield, James Brown, Bill Withers, Otis Redding, Donny Hathaway, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, Ike and Tina, Wilson Pickett, Isaac Hayes, Solomon Burke, Sly and the Family Stone, and The Temptations. Soul Collected is $46.99. The pre-order for that was Ed Nelson, Stacy Brown, Jerry Pennick, Stacy Metternich, Alex Roman, Matt Algram, Joe Sandigo, Tracy Miller, Sherry Darnell, and Kenneth Jank. This is an excellent comp. They're numbered and they're on colored vinyl. I have it in my hand, number 292. Brent's out on Van Halen. Van Halen's at $100. Michael Thrower, you was also bidding. You're out. Ed Adamowicz has that for $100, and that's a final call. If anybody else could let us know if you're in or out. Jared and Joe are still battling over Ozzy. Still battling over Ozzy. Yes, Facebook is freezing up very bad. You'll have to either constantly refresh, or somebody else said something else earlier about having to swipe back and forth. Soul is sold to Edward Star Wars and Chris Crowley. I've got 3 of those left if anybody else wants one. Soul Collected. Slayer, Monsters of Rock, 1994. Monsters of Rock is a silver vinyl. I think it's silver vinyl. Unofficial from Slayer, where they played Monsters of Rock in 1994. That's Live Slayer, $38.99. I only have one of those. New release from Prince. This is called Come, Get Wild, Peace. Actually, the name of the album is just called Come. This is $31.99. Prince, $31.99. We had a pre-order for Prince. Chris Crowley, Lisa Davidson, Shepard Michael, Stacy Brown, Joanne Epperson, James Bragg, Bill Walton, Paul Brothers, Bill Fratsky, and Troy Robinson. That is Prince, $31.99. I've got 2 extras of those. Sean Druin wants the Slayer Monsters of Rock. Michael said he was out on Van Halen, so we're about to sell that for $100. We're about to sell that. They're still bidding on Ozzy. Jared, you're out. Joe Gabriel has it for $175. Slayer is $38.99, Peter. That was my only copy, but if you want on the waiting list, let me know. 2 more copies of Slayer, Hell Awaits. I think James Bragg was on a waiting list for this. He was. James Bragg on a waiting list. We've got 2 more copies. This is on Velvet Red marbled vinyl. Velvet Red marbled vinyl. Slayer, Hell Awaits, $36.99 on that. The other night, we had a used copy for this, and there was a bunch of people who tried to grab it. It's actually still in print on colored vinyl for just a few dollars more. 2 LP white vinyl of Brandy Carlisle, The Fire Watcher's Daughter. That's new and sealed Brandy Carlisle, $33.99. Now, if you've missed out on any of these pre-orders and you're wondering how does people do this, we have a private group called Whole Lotta Records. It has about 5,500 members in it now. Please be sure you're in there. That's where we post all these pre-orders. I've been posting a lot lately. There's a lot of great releases coming out in the next 90 days. and you can pre-order them there. When they come in, we'll tag them for you just like you bought them. John Stites is going to grab that last copy of Extreme. That's sold to John Stites. Ozzy's at 180. Soul Collected. Yes, this is the first time they've pressed this. It's the colored vinyl, yellow and orange. Yellow and orange, $46.99, Soul Collected. Soul Collected, Prince, Slayer, Brandy Carlisle. Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. We had a waiting list for this. I ordered 3 of them. At the time, there was only one person on a waiting list, Peter Espinoza. Josh Cross also wanted one. So Peter and Josh, I've got you down for a Slayer. I have one left. Slayer, also new release. This is called Raised by Hip Hop. 50 years of hip hop's greatest hits. A hip hop collected, will you say, or a hip hop greatest hits. $44.99. $44.99. Raised by Hip Hop. Let me read the track listing on that one. Stacey Brown, Marco Villavenicio, Shepard Michael got 2 of them. Nikki Cox, James Bragg, Matt Algram, Ryan Rice, Christy Moss, Sherry Darnell, Greg Stone, and Zach Billy. This is Raised by Rap, 50 years of hip hop. That is $44.99. 3 of those. Okay, Ozzy's at 180. Jeff H. said he will take a Soul Collected. Brent, I will make sure you're on the Dolly pre-order. I can't read off that list because it's it's almost 100 names, I think. And I don't have it written down anywhere yet. I don't write them down pretty much until the week it comes in. But if you want on that list, Tanner will make a note. I'll make sure you're on there. Brian Tyler wants Slayer, Seasons in the Abyss. That's sold to Brian Tyler. Let's go ahead and sell Van Halen for $100 to Ed Adamwich. Ed, that's very nice. I've never seen a sticker sheet with that one. We'll be on the lookout for another one of those. That's sold to Ed Adamwich for $100. Top copy, completed that one. I think they're still bidding on Ozzy. Joe Gabriel has it for $185. Joe Gabriel has it for $185. Let's pull out another auction. Let's do Iron Maiden. I didn't put that in the teaser. Several people have asked about it. Let's see what we have here. It's going to be an $85 start. Iron Maiden, self-titled, Japanese press. $85 start. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. It has the Japanese insert with it. I do not see a poster unless it's tucked down in the jacket. No poster. Has the Obi, very nice jacket. Iron Maiden's an $85 start. Jared's at $195 on Ozzy. Dolly doesn't come out till November. Yeah, I think it's November on that. Did I miss any other claims? I don't think I did. Next title is Slayer, World Painted Blood, $33.99. Killers came with a poster. Okay, maybe this isn't missing a poster. I was about to say, I don't think I'd had one ever before with a poster. John Mincemoyer's at $85 on Iron Maiden. Sorry, I was taking a drink. These releases get confusing sometimes because, like, I don't know how many Japanese pressings I've sold of 5150 now, and I've never mentioned it's missing the sticker insert because I didn't even know it had one. So, and then certain pressings may not had a poster with it because it was a reissue, etc., and it's technically not missing one, but an OG may have. So those kind of things get very confusing. It's a lot to keep up with. Ozzy, $195, Iron Maiden, $85. Sean McNeil wants Slayer, World Painted Blood. Joe Gabriel's at $200 on Ozzy, and Brian Miller's at $87 on Iron Maiden. Another Slayer, Show No Mercy, on pink and orange marbled vinyl. That Slayer is $36.99. We also have Haunting the Chapel, $36.99, and Mind Control, public radio broadcast recording. Mind Control is $39.99. Slayer, Mind Control. We've got another new Prince. This is called Love Sexy. First time this has been reissued in a long time. $31.99 for Prince Love Sexy. The waiting list for that was Dwayne Sevilla, Shepard Michael, Lisa Davidson, Walt Cruz, Paul Brothers, and Troy Robinson. That's Prince Love Sexy. I've got 2 extra copies, $31.99. Back up to the top, Iron Maiden 90, Iron Maiden 95, Iron Maiden 90. Brian Tyler wants Haunting. That's sold to Brian Tyler. James Bragg wants Show No Mercy. That's sold to James Bragg. James Bragg also wants Haunting the Chapel. Let's put James Bragg on a waiting list for Haunting the Chapel. Peter Espinoza wants Slayer, Mind Control. That's sold to Peter Espinoza. Iron Maiden's at 115, 100, now 115. We'll put James Bragg on the Mind Control waiting list. Iron Maiden's at 120. Also, we have a new release from Music on Vinyl.
Peter Green, White Sky. White Sky from Peter Green is limited to 750 on crystal clear and blue marbled colored vinyl. Peter Green, $38.99. One of the original members of Fleetwood Mac. Peter Green is $38.99. That's a new release. These are things that I should have posted pre-orders for, but there was so much coming out, I didn't get to them. Peter Green was one of them, and this was one of them. I was reading the, this is Downset, $38.99. I was reading the blurb about this, and I think because it was punk or hardcore, I was like, we definitely would have had some pre-orders for this. Downset is $38.99. I've got 2 of those. And I'll go ahead and show the other Brandy Carlisle. By the way, I forgive you. Brandy Carlisle is $31.99. Okay, we got a lot of activity on our 2 auctions. We've got Ozzy and Iron Maiden. For those that's always wanting to get the metal out, here's your chance. Ultimate Sin is a fantastic album. Let's see, what's that song on there I really like? Of course, it has Shot in the Dark on it. Let's see, Fool Like You. It may be Fool Like You. I think that's my favorite one on there. Iron Maiden, we was at 120, then 125. Do you have any Bad Omens finding? I do not have that, but I can make a note to order it if it's available. Vernon Lehman is first on Peter Green. Where was we on Ozzy, by the way? Ozzy was at 200 with Joe Gabriel. I hadn't got to the bottom, though. Joe was at 200. I see 125 on Maiden. Peter Green, LA Guns. Darren, I will show those in just a second. Shane Devers, 130 on Iron Maiden. Joe Bagwell on Peter Green. James Bragg wants Downset. I need to start printing off these blurbs for a lot of these Music on Vinyl because they have some stuff and it'll be like, Music on Vinyl puts out so much every week and it'll be like, such and such band was an unknown, obscure punk hard rock group from Sweden that had a #1 hit known as this. And I'm like, well, I don't know if I need to order 10 or 1. And I try to post pre-orders of all those, but it's tough. It's a lot to post. Music on Vinyl has so much that comes out every month. Okay, next is Iron Maiden 140, Iron Maiden 150. Ozzy's at 201. Ed has bid 201. Jared asked how much it was at. Let's go through that crate one more time. If you need me to read the pre-order list, I would. We sold out of Extreme. Extreme 3 is sold out. We will definitely order more of those. Extreme 3 is $46.99 if you want on the waiting list. I still got both copies of Puddle of Mud, Life on Display, $46.99. Puddle of Mud, $46.99. Life on Display. Soul Collected, 2 copies left. A classic compilation of music. I'm seeing a lot of great stuff. I'm just kind of scrolling over. Really good stuff there, $46.99. Ozzy, 2 people at $210. Iron Maiden's at $150. Troy's at $150. Ozzy's at $210. Soul Collected. Prince is $31.99. Prince. We also have Slayer, Hell Awaits, $36.99. Slayer, Hell Awaits. I got 2 of those. Brandy Carlisle, The Fire Watcher's Daughter, $33.99. Raised on Hip Hop, $44.99. 3 left of those. Prince, Love Sexy, $31.99. Downset, last copy, $38.99. And the other Brandy Carlisle is $31.99. How much more new vinyl we have, Tanner? Is there another? I know there's a half crate here behind me. Is this it? This it? Is this it here? Okay. Okay, just trying to figure out where we're at because I do have new vintage stuff to go through as well. Brian Tyler takes that last Downset. If you've seen anything sell out and you want on a waiting list, anything that we've sold out, I will definitely order more. So I'm probably going to order 1 or 2 more. And if you want on that waiting list, I'll order a 3rd and a 4th. How much is the dolly? I think it's $59.99 or $54.99. Joe's out on Ozzy. Ozzy's at 220 with Jared Benoit. And Iron Maiden's at 155. Let's grab a new crate. Let's go through some new vintage stuff. I'm going to condense this crate with the other new vinyl from tonight, and that will leave just 1 crate of new vinyl. That first crate had like 7 different LA Guns in them. I'm going to go back through those tonight, take waiting list, remind you of the waiting list, and let's see what Paul has for us in this next crate. And I have another short crate of new vinyl to do after that. I'll do that momentarily. Let's see what's coming up in this crate. A lot of this we bought from a customer, a really good customer of ours. He thinned out some of his collection. I think he was moving, Oh, man, I forgot about this. Holy moly, them crooked vultures. I forgot we got that. But Paul went and bought his collection. A lot of stuff in here is pretty new. He was thinning out his collection. I don't know if he was moving. I don't know what was going on. But I just know he messages, thinning out some of his records. A lot of this stuff he bought from us. He was a really good customer. So a lot of this he bought from us. So there are a lot of new releases in here. And they're just lightly used. And we're about to put them up for auction. I'm pulling out a couple things right now, like them Crooked Vultures and Motley Crue's Greatest Hits. But yeah, I see some like pretty recent stuff in here. So I've already tagged him for that one. Yeah, yeah. There's some. If you're on that post, I've already pulled some stuff. Okay. Yeah, I didn't pull Alexander's Jeff Buckley. Okay. Yeah, I already pulled his. Yeah. Okay. You missed my puddle of mud. I may have. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. Maiden 145. James Bragg put POM, puddle of mud. I'm glad you said something. That's so to James Bragg, puddle of mud. I'm sure Tanner would have caught it when he went back through comments too. All right, puddle of mud. Thank you. That's so to James Bragg. Next was, we pulled Downset. We pulled Downset already for Brian Tyler. Joe's out on Ozzy. Troy's out on Iron Maiden. Patty put Them Crooked Vultures. And I thought it was a seller now. Not on this one. Let's figure out where we're at on our auctions, though. So Jared Benoit, Ed's out as well. Jared Benoit has Ozzy for $220. Near mint and pristine, shrink wrap, Obi, near mint minus vinyl, has their sticker sheet, has the Japanese insert. Jared's at $220. That's a final call. Iron Maiden, Troy Sherrock is at $150. Shane was at $155. Troy says out. Iron Maiden's at $155. They're near mint. That's near mint minus and pristine. Their self-titled debut album. Self-titled debut album. I'm about to sell both of those, and then we've got new auctions. As y'all seen, we have a lot of stuff to go through. Auctions and buy it nows here. Let's see what we have in here. This is Mumford & Sons. Babel. Mumford & Sons is $26.99. 2022 pressing on cream vinyl. Mumford & Sons, $26.99. Then and Now, The Best of the Monkees, $17.99. Then and Now, The Best of the Monkees, $17.99. Modest Mouse, We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank, $34.99. I think those are about $46 new. Modest Mouse is $34.99. The Manson Family Sings the Songs of Charles Manson. That has never been opened. $21.99 on the Manson Family. Local H, Here Comes the Zoo. That's on orange vinyl. $39.99. Brent on the Monkees and Shane on the Manson. Monkees and Manson. So to Brent and Shane. I'm about to sell these auctions. $220 on Ozzy and $155 on Iron Maiden. This is looks like an unofficial. It is. If you want this on colored vinyl, you can buy this unofficial for $49.99. That's Limp Bizkit Significant Other. That is on blue vinyl. I have new sealed copies on black vinyl for $44.99. But Limp Bizkit on blue vinyl, that's $49.99. That's an unofficial. Craig Ruth wants Local H. That's sold to Craig. And wow, a Liberace picture disc. A legendary performer. Liberace is $9.99. All right, Jared Benoit gets the beautiful Ozzy Ultimate Sin for $220. And Iron Maiden is $155. And that is sold to Shane Devers. $220 and $155 on those. Joe Bagwell needs to put back Peter Green. I don't know if we tagged you with a Peter Green, did we? Let's see. Peter Green. Joe says put on Kelly's tab, so he must have bought one. So we have an extra Peter Green if anybody wants one of those new Peter Green releases we have. Okay. Lil Bub Science and Magic with poster, $14.99. How much of Wayne's collection do you still have? I would say in the thousands. In the thousands. Motley Crue's Greatest Hits. 2 LP, crimson colored, red, black, swirl vinyl, near mint and pristine. This is a $30 start. Motley Crue's Greatest Hits. This album's actually back out of print. It's a gatefold 2 LP, Motley Crue's Greatest Hits, and that is on colored vinyl. $30 start on Motley Crue's Greatest Hits. Them Crooked Vultures is an unofficial on red vinyl. This isn't unofficial. I remember when I first started selling new vinyl, I could have logged on and ordered as many of these as I wanted, and I wish I would have. Them Crooked Vultures is Dave Grohl, Josh Homme, and John Paul Jones. Dave Grohl from Nirvana and Foo Fighters, Josh Homme from Queens of the Stone Age, and then John Paul Jones, of course, from Led Zeppelin. This is a 2LP red vinyl unofficial. This is a $45 start. Them Crooked Vultures, $45 start. And it's in a high, it looks just like a real press, but that is a bootleg, Them Crooked Vultures. I don't think that was ever released officially on colored vinyl. I remember, though, what I was saying is I used to have a whole stack of those. I remember selling them here when we first started selling new vinyl. Now they're very expensive. Okay, let me make sure I didn't miss anything before that. Motley Crue 30. Motley Crue 30. Ed Adamowicz is going to take the Limp Bizkit. That's sold to Ed Adamowicz. Motley Crue 30. Motley Crue 35. Modest Mouse Boone Tar is $34.99. We were dead before the sheep even sank. Motley Crue 32. Motley Crue 35. Motley Crue 35. Vultures 45. Motley Crue 40. Vultures 50. 50, 60. And Gordon Lightfoot, Summertime Dream, $17.99. This has the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Gordon Lightfoot, Summertime Dream. Very nice, no condition notes, $17.99. Oh my gosh. Here it is. Wow. Do y'all realize what this is? This is $9.99. This is it. This is where it all began. This is Pablo Cruz's debut release, $9.99. Without this album, we probably wouldn't have music. There would be no music of the 80s and 90s without Pablo Cruz. You can forget Alice in Chains. You can forget Soundgarden, Pearl Jam. I'm going to go as far as even like Van Halen. Van Halen, Pablo Cruz. Van Halen was riding Pablo Cruz's coattails. There would be no Korn without Pablo Cruz. $9.99. I know somebody's bought it. Let me go back up to the top. Patty put Q45. I think that was a miscue, but we will go ahead and sell Craig Johnson, Gordon Lightfoot. Brent Alverson's going to get Pablo Cruz. Jackie was second. Tommy was third. Carlene was fourth. Dan, you were second on Gordon Lightfoot. Them Crooked Vultures, 75. Next, Brian Ligon on Pablo. We have Them Crooked Vultures, 80. And Tubular Bells soundtrack, $14.99. The Tubular Bells soundtrack, Mike Oldfield, $14.99. The Offspring's Greatest Hits. Offspring's Greatest Hits, $22.99 for the Offspring's Greatest Hits. That's in shrink wrap, near mint. A Rock and Roll Collection, Buddy Holly, $19.99. Drive All Night. Glenn Hansard, Drive All Night, $14.99. The Grassroots 16 Greatest Hits, I highly recommend, $14.99. Neil Gaiman and 4-Play String Quartet, Signs of Life. That's a wild cover. That's $24.99 on cloudy silver vinyl. Where are we at on Motley Crue? I've got the high bidder of Motley Crue, Chris Frazier's at $50. Colored vinyl, the best of Motley Crue or Motley Crue's Greatest Hits. Crimson Smoke colored vinyl. Motley Crue's at $50. Now, Them Crooked Vultures was at $80. And Craig Ruth was first to the Offspring. Craig Ruth first to the Offspring. John Leal, you were second. James Raynard first to Glenn. That's so to James. Eric second. Neil third. And Leslie wants Neil. Leslie was first on that. Them Crooked Vultures is at $85. This is $29.99. Lars Frederskin and the Bastards, $29.99. Charles Manson live at San Quentin, sealed, $24.99. Craig wants Lars, sold. Saturday morning, $44.99, 2009, Black Friday Record Store Day, green and blue vinyl. Saturday morning, Cartoons Greatest Hits. Sublime, Reverend Horton Heat, Matthew Sweet, Collective Soul, Ramones, and the Butthole Surfers. Zach Billy on CM, Charles Manson. That sold to Zach Billy. Next was Shane Devers. Eric Fisher first on Saturday morning. Toby third on Charles Manson. Greg was second on Saturday morning. Queens of the Stone Age, $29.99. Rated R, Queens of the Stone Age. Rock and Roll Soul Part 1, Hall & Oates, $29.99. And OG Press, near mint with the poster. Is this the one? I was looking at this last night. Yeah, this has RL Mastering. Robert Lugwood Mastering, $29.99. Boontar, you were fourth on Saturday. Neil Brashear on Queens of the Stone Age. John Smetzer on Hall & Oates. And we have Tegan and Sarah, Still Jealous, or So Jealous. That is sealed, $24.99, 2022 Record Store Day, red vinyl. Update on our auctions. Final Call, Motley Crue, Chris Frazier has that for $50. That's a final call. No one else has bid. Chris is at $50. Them Crooked Vultures is at $90. New bid, Jeremiah Lewis is at $90. Final call, $50. They're still bidding on this. It's at $90. It's rock and soul, not rock and roll soul. David, that is a $5 fee for correcting me. Congratulations. That is Tanner put a $5 fee on his invoice. Correcting Chad. Okay. Just so everybody knows, this is going to be, actually, no, our next auction is going to be a copy of Please Please Me. I can make a fortune, everybody correcting me. No, thank you for that, even though I guess I just put that in there. Rock and soul. Rock, what was I saying? Rock and soul. It's rock and soul, not rock and roll soul. Yeah, there is no roll. Great eyes. Okay, Them Crooked Vultures is at $90. Me is $21.99. This is The Residence. I Am a Resident. It says covers. Not for sure what that is. $21.99. Modest Mouse. No one's first and you're next. Modest Mouse is $17.99. Motley Crue is sold to Chris Frazier for $50. Them Crooked Vultures is at $94. Liberty, a musical celebration of freedom, $14.99, such as the Star Spangled Banner. Ron Duffield, Modest Mouse, that's sold to Ron Duffield. Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger, sealed. Soundgarden, $36.99. Craig, you were second to Modest Mouse. Godzilla, sealed, $33.99. Dave Plunkett, first on Soundgarden. Rage Against the Machine, sealed, $31.99. Rage Against the Machine. Glenn Hansard, A Season on the Line, $14.99. Dave got Soundgarden. John was second. John Leal gets Rage Against the Machine, and Shane Devers was second. We have more copies of Rage. I can give another one to Shane Devers for that same price. Let me find the tops of them. Where was I looking at those last night? I know we have more Rage, or maybe we don't. Rage Against the Machine. Pretty easy to spot with that yellow top. I don't know if I can get to them or not. I don't see any in here. But Shane, actually, yeah, is that Queen? What is this over here? I see Queens of the Stone Age, Queen's Rock. What are these? Rage, self-titled. Yeah, I got Ramones. I need to go through some of this new vinyl over here. Yeah, I've got more copies of Evil Empire. Evil Empire. If anybody else wants one, same price. We match that price. So if you're okay with that, Shane, John Lill got one, Shane Devers got one. Same pressing. Read the Residence tracks. Give me 1 second on that. James Raynard on, I think that was Glenn. He put H. Ken, but that was for Glenn. That's sold to Eric Fisher. Eric Fisher was first on that one. That was on top of Shane Devers' Evil Empire. James was second. Neil was third. Them Crooked Vultures is at $100. Vernon Lehman also wants a Rage Against the Machine. And read Residence tracks, please. Let me figure out what that is. So this is, I don't think this is the Residence. This is other people doing covers, such as Smelly Tongues, Emerald Suspension, Here Comes the Bums. Craig just posted them. Yeah, I know there's a group called the Residence, right? But I don't think that's what this is. $21.99. There's the tracks in the comments, Nigel. We have Chris Cornell, Higher Truth. This is $39.99. I've got them new for $44.99. This is $39.99. And it's actually less than what Paul had it stickered for. But I know I have them new for $44.99. So that is used for $39.99. Tanner, make sure that goes in at $39.99. Local H, $39.99. Hey Killer on pink vinyl. Hey Killer on pink vinyl. Local H is $39.99. Paramore, this is why. Paramore is on green vinyl, $24.99. Mike Massey on Local Heroes. By the way, Them Crooked Vultures is at $100 with Jeremiah Lewis. Final call. Next auction, the Beatles, Please Please Me. This is a $55 start. The Beatles, Please Please Me. Near mint and pristine Japanese vinyl. Not a thing wrong with it. Really nice book insert. Very nice book insert. No marks on this. No discoloration. Includes really nice high quality pictures of the Beatles. Now the cover does have some discoloration. Mostly notable on the back. It does have some foxing. And a little bit you can see up here. It kind of blends in with the photograph. It's a UK Flag Series #1. The Beatles' first album. Please Please Me. That's a $55 start. Them Crooked Vultures is at $100. Final call. Sarah Long got Chris Cornell for $39. Mike Massey got Local Hero. And John Lill gets Paramore. That's so to John Lill. This is a fairly new release. Mindless Self-Indulgence, $36.99. Numbered vinyl, $36.99. Or numbered edition colored vinyl. That is $36.99. I have these new for $46.99. That has been opened and played. $36.99. Tegan and Sarah, Crybaby. $24.99. Neapolitan colored vinyl. Wow, this is going to look like Neapolitan, or as I used to call it, wow, that looks just like Napoleon ice cream. That is, I've never seen that before. That is $24.99. Neapolitan, and you can eat it. Ray Charles, A Message from the People. $19.99. That's a German pressing. Ray Charles and Queens of the Stone Age. New. $34.99. Their newest album on green vinyl. Queens of the Stone Age. $34.99. And we have Modest Mouse. I don't think I've ever had this one. In the golden casket. Modest Mouse is $21.99. Can you show the tracks for Godzilla? And Craig says he wants Godzilla. So Godzilla is the score music. There's a lot of them, such as Godzilla Approaches, sound effects, Godzilla main title, ship music, sinking of EQ Maru, sinking of Big U Maru. So yeah, it's just score music. There's a lot of them. Ending, Japanese Army March 2. That is sealed for $33.99. Ken, if you want that, it's yours. If not, it's sold to Craig Johnson. Sarah Chris Cornell was $39.99. 55 on the Beatles, now 57. Now 60 on the Beatles. John Lill first on Queens of the Stone Age. Neil Brashear was second. Not much left in this bin. I'm going to run through them one more time. Then I have a third of a crate of new vinyl. And yes, I do have new Queens of the Stone Age on silver vinyl. If anybody wants it on silver vinyl, these are new and sealed for $46.99. Boontar wants Modest Mouse, Dead Casket, or Golden Casket. That's sold to Boontar. Brent, you're out on the Beatles. Stevens at 60. We can go ahead and sell them Crooked Vultures. $100 to Jeremiah Lewis. $100 to Jeremiah Lewis. All right. What was next in our hot picture? Well, we've got other Beatles, but we can't do those now. Let's do the Police. Zenyatta Mondada, which I think we had a copy the other night. This is superb. A $55 start. The Police. Zenyatta Mondada. Don't stand so close to me. The vinyl is pristine. The whole package is pristine. Has a 2-page Japanese flip with it. Beautiful cover with obi. Japanese press. High quality on this one. Sounds incredible. $55 start on the Police. Zenyatta Mondada. 55 on that. All right, Mumford & Sons, Babel. For those that missed out on the other Mumford & Sons, this is on cream-colored vinyl. That is $26.99. Liberace, $9.99. That's a picture disc. Little Bub, Science and Magic, $14.99 with poster. Modest Mouse, We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank, $34.99. Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield, The Exorcist soundtrack, $14.99. Buddy Holly, Rock and Roll Collection, $19.99. Grassroots 16 Greatest Hits, $14.99. Tegan and Sarah, Still Jealous, that is sealed, $24.99. Liberty, A Musical Celebration of Freedom, $14.99. Me, which is limited covers, $21.99. Also, Mindless Self-Indulgence, $36.99. Cry Baby, Tegan and Sarah, $24.99. And Ray Charles, A Message from the People, a German pressing, $19.99. Is it a poster of a cat too? I have no idea. It says, with poster. We can take a look at it. I don't know what Little Bub is. It also has a Little Bub kitten insert. Download card. It's a gigantic, almost scary poster, cat poster. Little Bub starring in Science and Magic. It might be cat sounds. It might just be a whole album of cat meowing. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I've seen Stranger Things before. Literally. I've seen the TV show. John Lill says, please put back Rage Against the Machine. No problem. All right, the Beatles was at 60, 62, and now 65. Stephen Chesney's at 65 on the Beatles, looking for a $55 start on the Police. I have Rage Against the Machine if anybody wants it, $31.99. Boone Tar says he needs to put back Modest Mouse. Wrong one. All right, let's grab a new crate. Let me set these empty ones right over here. So we've been through 3 bins of vintage, and all that's left can fill up a half of a crate. That's all that's left. We'll go through those again. And we've got great new vinyl. I'm about to go through another third of a crate here, and then I'll probably, before it gets too late, just do a big recap of everything that's left there since there were so many new ones. Neil says he'll take the Little Bub. Brent says 67 on the Beatles. All right. They're in. Pretzel Logic. Steely Dan Pretzel Logic is $36.99. Steely Dan Pretzel Logic is $36.99. $36.99 for Pretzel Logic. Greg Rogers, David Johnson, Katie Gomez, Jeremy Vite, Jerry Stone, Matt Algram, Scott Beebe, and Stephen Chesney on the pre-order. New remastered Pretzel Logic. First time this has ever been repressed in a long time as a remaster too. They're doing that with the Steely Dan catalog. $36.99 for Pretzel Logic. I have 4 available. Steely Dan. Also, NXS Kick. This is on clear vinyl. $31.99 for NXS Kick. Tom Sullivan, you was on a waiting list. This is the Atlantic 75th anniversary celebration on clear vinyl. NXS is $31.99 on clear vinyl. New release from Music on Vinyl. George and Tammy. The original series soundtrack of George and Tammy, songs performed by Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain, limited to 500 on gold vinyl, music from the series based on the lives of George Jones and Tammy Wynette, $44.99. There was a pre-order for that. Stacey Metternich, Jerry Stone, Sherry Darnell, and Paul Brothers. Stacey Metternich, Jerry Stone, Sherry Darnell, and Paul Brothers was on the George and Tammy pre-order. I've got 1 extra to sell. We got a restock of Leonard Skinner, Gimme Back My Bullets, 45 RPM, Analog Productions, 100% analog mastering, $69.99. That's a 2LP, 45 RPM. 2LP, 45 RPM of Leonard Skinner, Gimme Back My Bullets, 45 RPM, $69.99. Brent's out on the Beatles. Steven has that for $70. Final call. Let me go ahead and end the Police. Let's see if anybody's on standby. This is near mint all the way around. First come, first serve. $55 buy it now on the Police. Sold to Craig Johnson. I had a feeling somebody was going to grab that one. That's sold to Craig Johnson for $55. By the way, Modest Mouse was put back. That was called Golden Casket. If anybody wants Modest Mouse, It is $21.99. Stephen, I was about to sell the Beatles to you, but guess what? There's a new bidder. Jason Dobb is at $75 on the Beatles, Please Please Me. Jason Dobb is at $75. We also have Stevie Ray Vaughan in Step, $49.99. Stevie Ray Vaughan in Step, Analog Production, single LP. Also Stevie Ray Vaughan Texas Flood, $69.99. And we got new restock of the Black Sabbath Live Evil Super Deluxe box set. This album had never been reissued until this box set. It includes the original mix and a new mix, which I think is now the preferred version. And this is $99.99. We need to put that little bub. I forgot to pull that. Jeannie, I'm glad you asked because it's already sold. Little bub is sold to Neil Brashear. He did say put that in my box, so that's sold to Neil Brashear, little bub. Ron Duffield wants MM. MM was what? Modest Mouse. That's the one I just put away. That is sold. Modest Mouse is also sold to Ron Duffield. So this is Black Sabbath Live Evil. We did have a waiting list. Tom Sullivan and Sean Druin. Y'all claimed one last week, and I thought I had 3 or 4, but those were actually Rat box sets. I thought they were extra Black Sabbath. They were Rat box sets. So I didn't have any. I ordered more. Tom, you got one. Sean, you got one. I've got one extra. $99.99 for the Black Sabbath Live Evil box. The Beatles is at $80 with Stephen Chesney. Here's what was left in here. The Beatles Live Evil, Texas Flood, Analog Productions, In Step Analog Productions, Give Me Back My Bullet Analog Productions, George and Tammy Soundtrack, NXS Kick, and Steely Dan Pretzel Logic. That's all that's left in there. The Beatles at $80. I'm going to put up a new auction, and we have a new crate to go through. New crate to go through of new stuff. New stuff just like we've been showing all night. Let's see what we have left in here. I see something good right off the bat. Yep. Yep. Okay. Gonna be a lot of stuff sell out of here. Probably same rate we've been having for sure. For sure. Oh, wow. Holy moly. Wow. I think that's a boot, but we're about to find out. Let's see here. Alice in Chains Unplugged. Yep. All right. Let me set this here. All right. Let's see here. Beatles 85, Jason Dobb. Let's go ahead and auction this off. This is Alice in Chains Unplugged. I have a feeling if this came from that same guy, this is a bootleg he got in his collection. Yeah. This is an unofficial, if it just came in with that stuff. This is a 2LP unofficial. Alice in Chains Unplugged, 2LP unofficial, $65 start. Alice in Chains Unplugged. That's a $65 start. That's a 2LP unofficial bootleg pressing. That is unofficial. That's a bootleg. Okay, the Beatles is at 85. Brendan Benson, $29.99, a 1996 promo. Brendan Benson, 1996 promo, $29.99. Poems, Prayers, and Promises, John Denver. This is in shrink wrap, $19.99. Poems, Prayers, and Promises. That's on orange vinyl, near mint, and shrink wrap. Take Me Home Country Roads, $19.99 on John Denver. That one looks superb. Rob Zombie, The Sinister Urge. That is sealed and never been opened, $27.99. Yachts, SOS. Yachts is $14.99. SOS. The White Stripes, Greatest Hits. A Target exclusive that has a slip mat with it, $17.99. There is no slip mat. Disc 2 is chipped on side, but grooves are still fine. $17.99 for White Stripe. No slip mat on that one. Shane Devers first on Zombie, Rob Zombie, Sarah Long on the White Stripes. There's nothing wrong with this record except that it is chipped. Jason's Dobbs out on Beatles. That means Stephen Chesney has that for 85. That's a final call. Wet Leg, the debut album, Wet Leg is $19.99. John Stevens, you were second on White Stripes. Bob Riger was third. Stone Temple Pilots is $29.99. Stone Temple Pilots. Wow. That is the blue and white splatter vinyl. of purple. I was like, I almost called it blue, yellow. It's purple. It's on blue vinyl. Stone Temple Pilots, $29.99. Soundgarden down on the upside, $39.99 for Soundgarden down on the upside. This is White Stripes or Jack White. Who is this? $39.99. I see Jack White front and center there. This is the Racanteurs. Oh my gosh, this is the one Jason Fortnrat was looking for. That is out of print. It's Jack White. It wasn't Jack White or White Stripes, it's the Racanteurs. That probably should have been put up for auction because this album is out of print. OOP. I didn't realize what it was. That is sold to Bob Riger. That is sold to Eric Fisher. Sold to Eric Fisher. Let me clarify actually a couple things. Let me put Shane Devers down first. Shane Devers was down for STP and then Eric Fisher on the Racanteurs. I've never seen that before because since I've been ordering vinyl, that has not been available in stock. I mean, it's very, very tough to find in stock. Okay, STP, Eric was first, then Bob, then Neil, then Randy, then Johns, then Patty. All right, Queens of the Stone Age Villains. This is $27.99. It has a etched D side, $27.99. D side is etched, $27.99. I need to stop answering text during the show. Absolutely, you need to just be locked in. If you're going to watch, everything's cut off. No TV, no lights, no music. Just Coletco. The Beatles is sold. The Beatles is sold for $86 to Stephen Chesney. Alice in Chains, I'm looking for a $65 start. That's a 2LP unofficial final call. Yes, John Lill got the Queens of the Stone Age. Paramore, After Laughter. Paramore is $27.99. Final call if you want to bid. People thought that might have been a buy it now moment. That was a final call to bid. More vintage. If we do more vintage after this crate, it will either be a recap or buy it now best offer. Almond Brothers Eat a Peach. Let's take a look at it. Almond Brothers Eat a Peach. Near mint and pristine. By the way, we are in technically vintage. I guess I should call this pre-owned. But yes, that's what we've had tonight. 4 crates of more so pre-owned. This is near mint and pristine. Almond Brothers Eat a Peach. Near mint and pristine. Look at this copy. Oh my gosh, it is absolutely beautiful. Almond Brothers Eat a Peach. $75 start. Near mint and pristine. Almond Brothers Eat a Peach. A perfect copy. $75 start. All right, now I'm going to make Alice in Chains a pot now. I'm surprised no one bid. Well, actually, Shane Devers did bid. Hold on a minute. Let me do that a final call. Final call. Shane's at 65 in case somebody else was wanting it. Shane did bid. Final call, $65. If you want in, you've got very limited time. Shane Devers or John Miller on Wet Leg. That's sold to Shane. Ugh, I'm messing up. John Miller got Wet Leg. Eric's at 75 on Alice in Chains. Eric Fisher's at 75 on Alice in Chains. This is Olivia Rodrigo. Almost said Dua Lipa. Olivia Rodrigo, Sour on magenta colored vinyl. $26.99. $26.99. Olivia Rodrigo, Sour. $26.99. $79.99 for Thumpasaurus. Thumpasaurus. $79.99. Wow, what a name. Thumpasaurus. $79.99. 75 on Alice in Chains. Dave's out. So now Alice in Chains is between Eric and Shane. And Bella Porch Dolls. $19.99. Bella Porch Dolls. $19.99. Looking for a $75 start on the Almond Brothers. Alice in Chains Dirt is $32.99. Alice in Chains Dirt, $32.99. Tegan and Sarah, Love You to Death. That's $23.99. Tegan and Sarah, Love You to Death. The Swell Season, Strict Joy, $19.99. Craig Johnson on Alice in Chains Dirt. That's sold to Craig Johnson. Ringo Starr, Stop and Smell the Roses. That is sealed, $29.99. Sealed copy of Ringo. Stone Temple Pilots Core, $29.99. Walmart red splatter. 45s, yes, I'm going to work on those tonight. 45s will be tomorrow. That's correct. Craig Johnson on STP. Almond Brothers, we're looking for a $75 start. Final call. Shane's out on Allison Chains. That means Eric Fisher. You have that for $75, and that's the final call. I also missed Eric Fisher's swell comment. So Craig got dirt. Craig also got STP, and swell went to Eric Fisher. Dave Plunkett, you were second on core. Next is Soundgarden Super Unknown, $39.99. Remastered. The top seam is dinged. Top seam has a seam crackle. $39.99 on Super Unknown, remaster. Boz Scaggs Greatest Hits, $14.99. There's another one. Let's put this one up for auction. The Rack Cantors. Let's go ahead and sell Allison Chains for $75 to Eric Fisher. If anybody wants the Almond Brothers, it's a $75 buy it now. It's a beautiful copy. You need to be all over this. Almond Brothers, $75 buy it now. That's one of my favorite albums. The Rack Cantors, Broken Boy Soldiers. I wonder if Jason Fornerat's watching because he wanted me to order these and I told him they were unavailable. This is going to be a $25 start. Rack Cantors, that's in shrink wrap. Broken Boy Soldiers. It includes the insert, $25 start on that. Rack Cantors, $25 start. Name and price of the Benson album. That was Brendan Benson. It's a 1996 promo copy of Brendan Benson. It's called Well-Fed Boy Demos. Well-Fed Boy Demos, $29.99. Rack Cantors, $25, now $35. Queens of the Stone Age, $36.99. Lullabies to Paralyze, $36.99 on Lullabies to Paralyze. Pure X, Crawling Up the Stairs. Pure X is sealed, $14.99. Paramore, All We Know Is Falling. Paramore is on silver vinyl, $27.99. Zebrahead, the early years revisited, $17.99 on Zebrahead. Billy Talent hits. This is music on vinyl. These are like $58, $56.99 new. This one's $29.99. $29.99. $24.99 for another Thumpasaurus. $24.99. Rack Cantors, $25, $35. Patty was in first at $40. So Bob and Neil, you're out. Patty's at $40. All right. And Eric needs to put back Pixie Surfer Rosa and 9 Inch Nails Pretty Hate Machine from the flip videos. Rack Cantors, $45. Henry's Choice has offered $65 for the Almond Brothers. I will split that with you and sell it to you for $70. You know, I think I've sold one of those. I don't know if that was that particular pressing, but I have sold one of those before at auction for over $100 when they're super duper nice like that. Here's another Almond Brothers. I'll start this one at $65. This is at the Fillmore East. It is near mint and pristine at the Fillmore East. 2LP at the Fillmore East. It has the Japanese insert with it. It's a gatefold with obi. It does have a little bit of foxing on the obi. You can see a little bit of it here, but it kind of blends in with the cover. Almond Brothers is a $65 start. Take a look at that. One of the greatest live albums ever. $65 start. Beautiful cover and obi. Near mint minus vinyl. A little bit of foxing on the insert and the inside of the gatefold. All right. Let's see here. Okay, so Rack Cantors, we was at 40, and then 41, then 45, then 46, and Almond Brothers, 65. So Stevie is bidding on this one, and Dave Plunkett needs to put back Bad Motorfinger. Brian Tyler just asked if we still have one. So here's how we can do that, I guess. I think John Leal was back up. That was Bad Motorfinger. Dave Plunkett wants to put it back. I do have those in stock. I've got about 20 of them over here. If anybody wants one, Bad Motorfinger is $36.99. So we need to put back Dave Plunkett. Brian Tyler, we can give you that one. And then John Leal or anybody else, if you want a Bad Motorfinger by Soundgarden, they're $36.99. Just FYI. They're $36.99. Bad Motorfinger by Soundgarden. What year on the Allman Brothers? I can check for you. I don't know. I don't have a year. This looks like an early 80s pressing. That looks like an early 80s pressing of that, Henry's Choice. Early 80s pressing. Okay. So we were doing some crisscrossing on Bad Motor Fingers. David Polkey on Thumpasaurus. That was this one. So, yeah, David Polkey on Thumpasaurus. Eric's out on Raconteurs. Brian Tyler's going to take the Bad Motorfinger. And Henry's Choice, let me know if you want this. If not, it's sold to Mike McGinnis. I think this is an early 80s press of this one. Late 70s or early 80s, I'm pretty sure. So that's either sold to Henry's Choice for 70 or Mike McGinnis for 70. Also, the year on this, I don't know, and I'm not as good of a guesser on this one. I can give you the catalog number. It's SJet 9565. And by the way, just like myself, when I'm looking for Japanese pressings for myself, a lot of times I get on Discogs, and not only can I not find them, I can't really find, I can't find one usually with an Obi. There's a lot of Japanese pressings, including the first Allman Brothers band. They never get listed with the Obi. Very tough to find with those. Allman Brothers is at 65 with Stevie Lee. So 65 on that. Henry says he passes, so that's sold to Mike McGinnis for 70. And the Raconteurs is on a final call. I haven't done it officially. Patty K has that for 46. Everybody else is out. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. I think we're caught up. Okay. So next was Modest Mouse, The Lonesome Crowded West. Modest Mouse is $24.99. Modest Mouse, Deep Purple, Greatest Purple, $29.99. Holland import, 2 LP. That's a Deep Purple Greatest Hits, $29.99. The Monkey's Head, sealed, silver vinyl, $27.99. Autumn's at 50 on Raconteurs. Patty says she's out. So Autumn, you're the new high bidder on that for 50, going once, going twice. And final call on the Allman Brothers. Joel says if you look at the price, that's sometimes a good way to tell. I think it may be a little bit different for 2 LPs, but I'm sure there's a different chart for that. But yes, that's one way to tell, because I think they used a lot of the same prices on Obies. And the Stone Temple Pilots, this is a music on vinyl press, I think. Yes, music on vinyl press of Shangri-La Dida, $29.99 on the Stone Temple Pilots. Here's a couple LPs that was put back, if anybody interested. 2 LP remaster of Pretty Hate Machine, 9 Inch Nails, $49.99. And the Pixies, Surfer Rosa. If we haven't already, there's definitely tonight's night. It's Nightly Nudity. She is bare-chested. $31.99 for the Pixies, Surfer Rosa. Brian Tyler wants STP. Joe Willinger's at 70 on the Fillmore. All right, and this is catalog SJet 9565-6. It's on Capricorn Records, Japanese press. Joe Willinger is at $70. Autumn Betts gets the Raconteurs for $50. Stevie Lee's at $71. All right, great crate, and we're going to go through those one more time. All right. Yes, Prince was slightly nude as well. Is this Ben or best offer? This is no discounts. We have a new auction coming up. The new auction is The Police, Synchronicity, another pristine Police album. Let's take a look at this. Near mint and pristine, The Police, Synchronicity. Beautiful vinyl. And of course, none of the Japanese pressings were purple translucent like the US. These are just regular black, near mint and pristine. Has the Japanese insert there with it. Very nice. The classic Police album, top loader with Obi. This is a $55 start. $55 start. Okay, let me go back to the top, make sure we didn't miss anything. Allman Brothers was at 71. Chris Kirkley says he'll take the Pixies, Surfer Rosa. I think James Cohorn said he would like to see it again. There it is. You can look at it all day long. That is sold to Chris Kirkley for $31. Unless James Cohorn wanted it. Here's what's left in here. Poems, Prayers, and Promises, John Denver. Shrink wrap, $19.99. I think all the Queens of the Stone Age sold. Yep. $19.99. Yachts, SOS. Yachts is $14.99. Soundgarden down on the upside. Actually, let me give you a different price on this. We have these new. Yes, we have these new. I'll do $34.99 on this. $34.99 on this. This is down on the upside. It's a 180-gram remaster Soundgarden, near mint. Burden in My Hand, $34.99. Blow Up the Outside World. That is $34.99. That's near mint 2LP. Near mint 2LP. Looking for a $55 start on the Police. Allman Brothers at the Fillmore, $75. So John, wow, I'm surprised no one got this. Orange Label OG. And it has Take Me Home Country Roads. Guess He'd Rather Be in Colorado. Sunshine on My Shoulders. That's in shrink wrap, $19.99. Take Me Home Country Roads, $75.76. What are the hit songs on Deep Purple? This has all the great stuff, Johnny Silva, such as Black Knight and Strange Kind of Woman and Child in Time, Woman from Tokyo, Fireball, Hush from 1968, Smoke on the Water, Speed King, Burn, Highway Star, Space Truckin', Strange Kind of Woman. This has everything on it. 2LP in shrink wrap. It does have a clip corner. That is $29.99. Deep Purple, Greatest Purple. Paramore, After Laughter. Paramore is $27.99, and that was on black and white marbled vinyl. $27.99. Paramore, After Laughter. Olivia Rodrigo, Sour, magenta colored vinyl, $26.99. Also, Thumpasaurus, $79.99. Thumpasaurus, $79.99. Bella Porch Dolls, $19.99. Tiga and Sarah, Love You to Death, $23.99. Ringo Starr, Stop and Smell the Roses, that is sealed, $29.99. Soundgarden, Down on the Upsides, Super Unknown, $39.99, and we have new copies for $49.99. Boz Scaggs Hits, $14.99. Brendan Benson, 1996 promo, $29.99. There is a Queens of the Stone Age left. Lullabies to Paralyze, featuring Little Sister, $36.99, 2009 reissue. Jake Biderman wants Soundgarden. Jake, I'm assuming you want Super Unknown. Just so you know, it does have a little bit of a spine crackle right there, but that is yours for $39.99. Stevie Lee went ahead and bumped up the Allman Brothers to $90. Joe says he's out, so final call on that for $90. Neil Brashear says he'll take Queens of the Stone Age. Let's go ahead and make the Police a buy it now. Brent, I'm just going to say you have perfect timing. He had already sent that before he was bidding, but I'm going to go ahead and end it. Sell that to Brent Alverson for $55. Wow. New or old? Are you asking, is Queens of Soundgarden new or old? This is a new pressing. This is not from 1996 or whenever this came out. 1990. What year did this come out? This is from 2014 or 16 remaster. That's the remastered copyright. This was probably pressed in the last couple years. The originals of these are $400. That is from 2000. That's probably made in the last year on that one. That is a new remaster. Yes, not a 1994. This is a pre-owned bin of a lot of the Soundgarden, just like this. This came out in, I think, 96. This was the one come out a couple years later. This was made in the last year. This was pressed at a plant in the last year. The originals of that, they're not really expensive, but they're just kind of hard to get to. John Leal says he'll take this, and this was $5 off. That was $34.99 to John Leal. I have these new and sealed for $39.99. So Brent got the Police for $55. Let's go ahead and sell Stevie Lee, the Allman Brothers, for $90. Let's put up another bluesy album. This is straight blues, and we'll put up some prog rock. Born Under a Bad Sign with Obi. This is a $75 start. Now, this album originally came out in the, early or mid-60s. Definitely not that one. I don't know if that even exists with an Obi. If so, that would be incredible. This is just such a hard album to get in general, though. Joe's already bid. I hadn't even got to tell you about it. I will tell you this. It's near mint and pristine. Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign. This is a really, really nice copy. Perfect white inner sleeve, and the cover is really nice. Now, it looks like the cover has a little bit of a bend just right here. It looks like it got creased. Other than that, I don't know if you can slide over the Obi and tell anything. Yeah, it has a crease right here. It got creased right here. And other than that, it's a beautiful copy. It also sounds incredible. I had to give it a listen. Albert King, Born Under a Bad Sign. And that's a Japanese. That originally came out in 67. A little bit later than I thought. I thought that was like mid-60s. That came out in 67. This is probably a 70s pressing. I don't see a barcode. That's probably, I'm going to just guess, a 70s pressing. It is near mint pristine. $85 start. Genesis Invisible Touch. Genesis Invisible Touch is a $45 start. It is near mint and pristine. Love this album. The Japanese pressings, once again. All the Japanese pressings we've had tonight are very high quality. No, and I always say near mint and pristine, but I've listened to a lot of these. I've had them before. All of these sound really good. They're all really good mastering on these albums. So Genesis is a $45 start. There's the Japanese insert that came with it. Of course, it has several hits, and it just has some other just great songs like Domino and the Brazilian, which are pretty much instrumentals. The Domino isn't, or Domino. The part one is, the last Domino is a kind of an instrumental. But that's a $45 start. Land of Confusion's on there. You should go ahead and be bidding right now. All right, finishing up this crate. Pure X, Crawling Up the Stairs. That is sealed for $14.99. Paramore, All We Know Is Falling. Paramore is on silver vinyl, $27.99. Zebra Head, The Early Years Revisited, $17.99 on Zebra Head. Also, Billy Talent Hits. Billy Talent is $29.99. Modest Mouse, The Lonesome Crowded West, $24.99. And The Monkees, that's a tough original to find. That's sealed on silver vinyl, $27.99 on the Monkees Head. All righty, so we got two auctions going. We've been through 4 crates of vintage, and everything that's left can fit into one crate, and we'll do a big recap on that in just a second. I want to first go through some new vinyl that you may have missed at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to probably grab some of our waiting list and remind a lot of people of stuff we sold out of. A lot of people was curious what we had at the first part of the show, and a lot of that's in here. Joe Willinger's at 100 on Albert King. Brent Robley, you're out. Joe has it for 100, going twice, going 3 times. Genesis is a $45 start. If you don't get a bid pretty soon, I'm going to make it a buy it now, and I cannot believe it's already almost 10 o'clock. Central Time. That's incredible. I still got to auction one. How many more items do I have those in the hot picture? I still got Sgt. Pepper's. Wow, I still got Abbey Road and Hard Day's Night, Japanese presses, Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Elvis, and King Crimson. That was all stuff that I think that was in the hot pictures that I have not got to yet. All right, so here are some of these titles. Bob Marley and the Wailers, Rasta Revolution. That's on limited edition green and black splatter vinyl. Bob Marley is $31.99. Bob Riger says, hello. I see you, Bob. And Genesis, Thomas is at 45 on Genesis. Enough's Enough, 10 on purple vinyl. Enough's Enough is $29.99 on purple vinyl. Ike and Tina, The Hunter, one of their last more blues-driven albums. $33.99 for Ike and Tina, The Hunter, $33.99. Reagan Youth, Volume 1 on silver vinyl. Reagan Youth is $29.99. Fleetwood Mac, self-titled, $31.99. Remaster, Fleetwood Mac, self-titled, $31.99. Also, Tango in the Night by Fleetwood Mac, another remaster. Tango in the Night, $29.99. The Cramps, The Complete Show from Santa Monica Civic, California, 1980, $36.99. Fleetwood Mac Mirage is $29.99. And Black Label Society Sonic Brew, $31.99. $31.99. All right, Joe Willinger gets Albert King for $100. Thomas Hujar gets Genesis for $45. Those are all sold. Time for our next two, which is going to be a Hard Day's Night, which I don't think I have seen as often. And the other night, we had a lot of bidders on this. We had a lot of bidders on Elvis. But first, let's show the Beatles Hard Day's Night. This is going to be a $55 start. It is near mint and pristine Japanese pressing of the Beatles. Hard Day's Night has a 2-page flip with it. It has the cover, UK Flag Series number 3, Hard Day's Night. Nice jacket, virtually no signs of foxing or discoloration. Super clean vinyl with the insert. I gave that a quick spin last night. Incredible. $55 start. Elvis, recorded live on stage in Memphis. Now, the other night we had this. Lots of interested parties. This is a $45 start. Elvis on stage, recorded in Memphis. It's a gatefold. This one has no foxing or discoloration. It's got the book with it. It has the lyrics. It has the obi. That's a $45 start. $45 on Elvis and $55 for Beatles. And there you go, my folks. That's the two biggest selling artists of all time, Elvis and the Beatles. They've sold a few albums. Back up to the top, Brian Tyler wanted Reagan, which was Reagan Youth. That sold to Brian Tyler. I'm glad I ordered some of these. Some of these were last-minute new releases that I grabbed a couple of, and we've sold out of a lot of them. Brian Tyler got Reagan Youth. Bob Reiger says, at least for me, Facebook. Yeah, there's been a lot of problems tonight for sure. Where's our Grateful Dead heads at? New release at RFK Stadium. 8 LPs. They only made 9,000 of these. That's a lot of box sets. Can you imagine what 9,000 box sets looks like, Tanner? That's a lot of box sets. When we order 100 of a title, it seems like a lot. Could you imagine 9,000 box sets? That's a lot. $179.99, or at least takes up a lot of space. $179.99, the Grateful Dead. We also have Dr. John. This is called High Priest of Psychedelic Voodoo. New release for Friday. Purple, yellow, and green vinyl. $49.99. Matthew Sweet. I figured somebody would claim this by now. 100% Fun, the alternative rock classic. That's pressed by Intervention Records. $59.99. Midnight Oil. The only way you can get this. Diesel and Dust. $68.99 for Midnight Oil. One of the only LA Guns that's left. Toronto 1990. Toronto 1990 is $36.99. I'm also going to remind you of a couple other LA Guns waiting list we have because I need to get those orders in tonight and we might can have them by Friday. So this LA Guns is called Toronto Live 1990. That's on blue and red vinyl for $36.99. We also have only one copy left of Black Label Society 1919 Eternal. There is some spine crackling going on at the top. That is on purple vinyl, 1919 Eternal, $39.99. I did not get the Ghost box set. I opted not to order that. I was going to post a pre-order, see if anybody wanted one, but I did not order it. All right, let's make these buy it nows. I think last time Elvis brought $50 or $60. This one's a $45 buy it now, and no bid on the Beatles, just a $55 buy it now on Hard Day's Night. So $45. Shane Devers is going to take the Elvis for $45, and the Beatles Hard Day's Night, $55 buy it now. Let's see if anybody was on standby for that. Shane got Elvis for $45. Last copy of Hollywood Forever. That's on Coke bottle clear green vinyl. Hollywood Forever, $29.99. Last copy of the new Puddle of Mud. Puddle of Mud, live on display. First time ever on vinyl, $46.99. Thomas Hujar is going to get the Beatles for $55. All right, at this rate, we're going to knock out these last few that was in the hot picture very quick before I get the new stuff. Let's do King Crimson and Sgt. Pepper's. I've spent some time listening to both of these. King Crimson Red is a superb album. This is a Japanese press with obi. This is also a $55 start. The vinyl is near mint and pristine. King Crimson Red with the Japanese insert. The cover it's nice for a black cover that was originally glossy. It shows a little bit of wear, but not really. It's kind of an odd type deal, but overall this is really nice. Little bit of foxing right in here. Red, that's a great album. King Crimson, $55 start on that. I recommend. I bet if Paul was making a note, he would too. I think that's one of his favorites. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. The Beatles, $55 start for the Beatles, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, near mint and pristine. Has the original inner sleeve. Sgt. Pepper's is a gatefold with the Apple Obi. I guess I kind of recommend this album. Has a little bit of foxing right up here. $55 start for Sgt. Pepper. So the vinyl, really nice. The front cover and Obi, really nice. Just a little bit of foxing in the gatefold. King Crimson's at $55. Nick Bargeron was in first. Gary Samuels, you were second. Those are $55 starts. Last two copies of Soul Collected. Soul Collected is $46.99. That's limited to 2,000 on yellow and orange colored vinyl. Yellow and orange colored vinyl. Last two copies on that. $46.99. Prince, Come, $31.99. We had a big pre-order on that. I got 2 extras. Slayer, Hell Awaits, $36.99. Got 2 of those red and marbled colored vinyl. Surprised we didn't sell the Brandy Carlisles, the slightly used copies we had the other night. Lots of claims. That's why I ordered these. Brandy Carlisle, The Firewatcher's Daughter, sealed on white vinyl. Just $33.99. Still got both of those, surprisingly. There's the new Raised on Hip Hop comp. We have sold a lot of them. $44.99. Look at all those artists. $44.99 on Raised on Hip Hop. Got 3 of those left. There's the other new Prince. There's some more nightly nudity. Love Sexy, $31.99. And the other Brandy Carlisle, By the Way I Forgive You, $31.99. Had a lot of people claim that one. That was second. Those are sealed for just a handful more. Just a few more dollars more is what I'm trying to say. All right, the waiting list for the other LA Guns albums was LA Guns Cover, Covered in Guns, LA Guns Renegade, and then LA Guns #1. LA Guns #1 was that blue vinyl demo record they first submitted to Polydor. And then Renegades, which is a fairly new reissue or release a lot of people have been asking about. And LA Guns Covered in Guns. Those are 3 waiting lists that we have. Brian C., Paul Brothers, John Leal, and Rebecca Barber on Covered in Guns. Renegades was Brenda Medina and Jill Morris. And Guns #1 was Paul Brothers, Nick Bargeron, Sean Druin, and Dwayne Sevilla. Gary Samuels is at 56 on King Crimson. Is that a AP catalog number? This is AP 8163, 2,200 yen. AP 8163, 2,100 yen. Looking for a $55 start. Final call before I make that a buy it now. And Nick Bargeron, let me know if you're in or out on King Crimson. Nobody on anything in here. That was a recap of new vinyl. I guess everybody's got everything that you wanted for tonight, huh? That was a final call on everything in there. All right, now let's go through, let's see here. What was this? Maybe a put back. Let's see here. What do we want to do? I'll let y'all decide. I was going to go back through all the vintage from tonight one more time because it's really just one crate, everything from tonight, and maybe entertain a few offers if anybody's interested, and then we can go to some buy it now best offer stuff. I can't believe it's already after 10 o'clock. Time's flying by. Let's put this right over here and see what we got. What was the first Black Label Society? Sonic Brew and 1919 Eternal. New arrivals. That was it. I have nothing else to show that has never been shown before. Now, I can go back through everything else, but we went through a solid 3 hours of new arrivals. That was all of them. Yeah. Yeah, and Tanner says we've sold 4 entire crates full of new vinyl. This has been an epic show. We've sold almost all of the new arrivals. We've sold 4 entire crates of new vinyl. A lot of stuff. All right, Nick has not said anything. We need to know if you're in or out. Let's go ahead and make the Beatles a buy it now for $55. Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. $55 buy it now on that. So did Jason Dobb. He was waiting for that opportunity. Let's go ahead and knock out the last one we have for tonight, which is Abbey Road. $55 start for Abbey Road if you want to bid on this one. This is a UK Flag Series number 12. Near mint minus and pristine vinyl on the Beatles Abbey Road. That is a superb copy. Here comes the sun. There's the 2-page Japanese flip. Actually, it has 2 inserts. It has 2 of the same inserts. You get a free insert with that one. And we have a very nice cover. Just a little bit of discoloration right there. That's also a $55 start. And King Crimson is sold to Gary Samuels for $56. I have lost contact with Nick Bargeron. So here's what's left in here. We'll go through the new arrivals from tonight. If you want to make an offer, go right ahead. I'm going to be lenient on these, okay? Jeff's at 55 on the Beatles, I believe. Jeff's at 55 on the Beatles, going once, going twice. And let's go ahead and show, of course, Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. This is a $65 start. Billy Joel's Greatest Hits. Near Mint Minus and Pristine, 2 LP. There's 1 LPs. There's 2 LPs. This has the lyric book with it. It's a gatefold with Obi. This is a $65 start. And look, it has a promo sample sticker on the back. Let's see if the labels have any promo markings. Yeah, this is a promo copy. There's the Japanese symbols for promo, just not a white label. It's a promo marked label. This is a promo copy of Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, Volumes 1 and 2. Did not realize that. That is $65 start. This was sold to Jason Dobb. Jason Dobb got that. Jeff's at 55 on this Beatles. Which one did you just tag? What was the other one? Gary Samuels got King Crimson for 56. Jason Dobb got that for 55. Jeff has this for 55, going once, going twice. Billy Joel, we're looking for a $65 start promo copy. Okay, all in the family. VG Plus, $14.99. That has the insert. Final call for these new arrivals for tonight. The Blues Brothers is VG Plus $19.99. The Blues Brothers is VG Plus $19.99. That's in shrink wrap. Chuck Berry's Golden Hits, EX condition, $21.99. Ghostbusters original motion picture soundtrack, that is $21.99 for the Ghostbusters. John Duran, I will sell you All in the Family for $12 if you want that one. Back to the Future is $22.99. 2021 Euro import, $22.99 on Back to the Future. The official music of the 23rd Olympiad in Los Angeles, 1984, that's $9.99. $9.99. John Duran said he will take All in the Family for $12. That's sold to John Duran for $12. Johnny Silva said $16 on Chuck Berry. Go ahead and sell that for $16. NXS Kick for $29.99. NXS Kick, wasn't that a new arrival? NXS Kick is $31.99. That is sticker price. All the new vinyl is sticker price. John Leal, Back to the Future, $18. Sell that to John Leal for $18. This is Angela Lansbury as Mammy, a new musical, shrink wrap and hop sticker, $9.99. John Fitzgerald Kennedy, a memorial album, $14.99. Dragnet soundtrack, music from the motion picture, $19.99 for Dragnet. Also, Frank Zappa, One Size Fits All. That's a VG copy, $19.99, one of his best. VG, $19.99. Get the Knack by The Knack. That's a VG copy for $9.99. And Jefferson Starship, Freedom at .0. Freedom at .0 is VG plus $14.99. Brian Tyler, I will sell you Dragnet for $15 if you want that. Speaking of selling, Jeff gets the Beatles. Jeff, was that not one of the ones you had in your flag series? No contesting. Gets that uncontested. $55 to Jeff McIntosh. And if anybody wants Billy Joel, this is a $65 buy now. Promo copy, Near Mint and Pristine with booklet. $65 buy now. Brian Tyler says he'll pass on Dragnet. All right, that's available for $15 if anybody wants it. Frampton Comes Alive, VG plus $19.99 for Frampton Comes Alive. The Frames Longitude, EX $16.99 for the Frames Longitude, $16.99. Let's see here. I was going to show y'all our group. I was going to do one more time of our group. Well, I don't want to lose my chat. I just want to remind everybody about a whole lot of records. We have a private group where we post a lot of our pre-orders. Just so everybody knows, we have that. Hope that you're in there. Six Flags Series albums. Jeff, I'm working on it for you. Herman's Hermits, 15 Greatest Hits. EX $12.99. Andy Williams' Greatest Hits. That's EX $9.99. Village People Macho Man, VG $9.99. Ravi Shankar, Transmigration Macabre. That is EX $16.99. I don't know why I can't really get that out, but this is a promo label, a promotion copy, not for sale. It looks like it has a promo sticker on it one time somebody took off. Three Dog Night, Golden Biscuits was VG Plus $11.99. The Pretenders is EX $17.99. Mumford & Sons, Babel, Mumford & Sons is $26.99. Kenneth said he'd give $15 for Ravi Shankar. Sell that to Kenneth. Had it marked for $16.99. Liberace, $9.99 for the Liberace picture disc. Take a look at Liberace, $9.99. Also, Modest Mouse, We Were Dead Before the Ship Even Sank, $34.99 for Modest Mouse. Also, Tubular Bells, Mike Oldfield, $14.99. A Rock and Roll Collection, Buddy Holly, $19.99. So if you just join us, we have sold everything that was featured on our Facebook post. Everything is gone. I've got a few other stray records here. I don't know a lot about Tycoon, but we had it marked and it was sealed. I was going to put that up for a $5 start if anybody wants to take a chance on Tycoon. Tycoon's a $5 start. Now, I did some extensive research on, Jim, you must be a mind reader, Bathory. Bathory, I've got it marked, and I looked. So last night I was going through records on Discogs. I had a whole crate. Half of them I listed, half of them I went back through tonight. We can go back through those one more time if anybody wants to see them. I would love to sell the rest of them as much time. That took me like 3 hours to go through that crate and look at all these. So this is, I was going to make sure this was what this is, and it is. This is a 1987 UK pressing, $164.99. It's buy it now, best offer. It has the original inner sleeve. It is super clean, and it is $164.99. Bathory. And that's called Under the Sign of the Black Mark. That is $164.99. That is a 84 UK. Yes, those aren't cheap. Those aren't cheap. Didn't want to list it on Discogs. I don't like listing records like this on Discogs that have a lot of little iffies on it because it's got a little bit of damage here and there on the cover. Also, I didn't realize this. I've adjusted the price. Blow Up has a song by the Yardbirds on it. There was one listed on Discogs. It said in shrink wrap with the Yardbirds hype sticker. And I was like, whoa, Yardbirds. And it does have a song by the Yardbirds, and the music's by Herbie Hancock. That's in VG condition, and I was going to sell that for $24.99. That's the Blow Up soundtrack. VG condition, $24.99. And Lou Reed, Metal Machine Music. At first, I was like, man, $74.99. But then I started looking at these for OG press, especially with the cover not that bad. If you're needing this album, if you're wanting this album, $74.99. Buy it now, best offer on Lou Reed's Metal Machine Music. So every once in a while, we'll have somebody hop on and ask for this. Metal Machine Music, that is $74.99. That's 10 OG labels. Blow Up was VG condition, Herbie Hancock, and it has a song on there by the Yardbirds, $24.99. And Bathory is $164.99. Y'all were acting like I said $5,000. $164.99 is a fantastic price, Jim Engelman. You should just go ahead and buy it because James Bragg says, will you take $150? And I'm about to sell it. Let me make sure Jim Engelman doesn't want it. If not, it's sold to James Bragg for $150. That's about to be sold. And the only other thing tonight that did not sell was Billy Joel's Greatest Hits Volumes 1 and 2. That's a $65 buy it now. $65 buy it now on that. Okay, and then I'm going to go through that other crate in just a second. Next is the Grassroots, their 16 Greatest Hits, $14.99. The Grassroots 16 Greatest Hits, $14.99. Their greatest hits, Sooner or Later, Where Were You When I Needed You, Heaven Knows, Temptation's Eyes, $14.99. Jim says I have to pass. No problem. Thank you, Jim. And that goes to James Bragg for $150. Who in the world is Bathory? It's early, dark, black metal from the UK. That is $164.99. Now sold to James Bragg for $150. Tegan and Sarah, Still Jealous, $24.99. Go ahead and sell Jackie the Grassroots for $10. That's sold to Jackie Reynolds. Yes, Mumford & Sons. I forgot about you, Leslie. Leslie offered $21.99 for Mumford & Sons. Leslie, I'll need $25 for that one. Babel, I'll sell that to you for an even $25. Liberty, A Musical Celebration of Freedom. Liberty is $14.99. America the Beautiful, Yankee Doodle, Star Spangled Banner, Johnny Has Gone for a Soldier. That's $14.99. Very patriotic. Me is $21.99. That's covers, $21.99. Leslie said okay to Mumford & Sons for $25. Let me find that. Mumford & Sons, $25. Brian Tyler, I don't want anything left behind tonight. If you will give $12 still for the Dragnet soundtrack, I'll sell it to you for $12. Let me know if you still want that. If not, that's okay. Since, actually, when an offer is made and then somebody counters, you can technically cancel because you didn't take the original offer, but it's trying to sell as much as we can on here for this. Need to pass on the LA Guns #1 that I claimed earlier. Rebecca Barber, was you on a waiting list or did you claim it? LA Guns #1, wherever that waiting list is. If she claimed it, then the next one goes to Paul Brothers. So she must have had claimed it. All right, so we'll put that back. We have an extensive waiting list for that one, so it's already sold. Mindless Self-Indulgence, If, $36.99. Like I said, that just came out. We have those new for $46.99. Crybaby, Tegan and Sarah. Crybaby, Tegan and Sarah, Crybaby. That's $24.99. Billy Joe for $50.99. This is a promo copy. And Wade, I guess I've just sold a lot recently, but I've hardly ever, if ever, sold one of those for under $65. I may have let one slip through one time for $55, and that one, because it's a promo copy, I'll take $60 for it. But at the right time, when somebody's looking for it, I shouldn't have any problem getting $65 or more, but I'll do $60 on it. I'll do $60 on it, but that's up to you. Ray Charles, A Message from the People, $19.99, German import. Rage Against the Machine, sealed, $31.99. Yachts SOS was $14.99. Poems, Prayers, and Promises, John Denver, surprised that's still available, $19.99. Deep Purple's Greatest Purple, $29.99. Deep Purple's Greatest Purple. Paramore, After Laughter. Paramore is $27.99. Olivia Rodrigo, Sour. Magenta, $26.99. This was the Thumpasaurus. The Thumpasaurus was $79.99. Bella Porch Dolls, $19.99. Tegan and Sarah, $23.99. White clear vinyl. Harry, the best price on Deep Purple would be $25. I would sell that for $25. That would be meat in the middle on that one. Sealed Ringo was $29.99. Boz Scaggs' Greatest Hits, just $14.99. Lido Shuffle. Also, Brendan Benson, 1996 promo, $29.99. Pure X, Crawling Up the Sun, Crawling Up the Stairs. Crawling Up the Sun would be hard, $14.99. Rich Group, Deep Purple, John Denver's Near Mint and Shrink Wrap. Rudder Butter, I will also split the difference with you on that and sell you Brendan for $25. So Harry, Deep Purple, $25. Rudder Butter, Benson, $25. Kenneth Jenks says he'll take the Boz Scaggs at $14.99, which was sticker. That's sold to Kenneth. Paramore, All We Know Is Falling. Paramore is $27.99 on silver vinyl. Zebrahead, The Early Years is $17.99. Billy Talon Hits is $29.99. Modest Mouse is $24.99. And The Monkey's Head is $27.99. Sealed. $27.99 sealed. Sean, there's a unique situation going on with this Rage Against the Machine. Technically, we didn't order it new, but technically it is a new LP. So it really shouldn't be in a buy now best offer bin, but if you do want it, I will sell it to you for $29.99, which is a couple dollars off sticker. If not, I'm probably going to take it out of the sleeve and then put it right back over there of our other ones for $31.99. My best price on Billy Joel is $60 for sure. $60 for sure. That is my best price. It's a promo copy. Not only is it Billy Joel's Greatest Hits, but it's a promo copy. Okay, Kenneth Jenks said Boz. Billy Joel, $55. Rage Against the Machine, $28. He said pass at $29. Chris said $25 on Deep Purple. Troy says he'll also take it for Deep Purple. So, who was first offered? Harry Morris. Harris, let me know if you want that Deep Purple for $25, because if you don't, I have two other people want it. And the first was Chris Wood Sr. So if Harry passes, that's sold to Chris Wood Sr. for $25. Troy Chirac was $30. Jimmy Walker offered $20 for Modest Mouse. Let's go ahead and sell that to Jimmy Walker for $20. Harry Morris, does that means you'll take it for 25? Does okay mean you want it for 25? If so, say Deep Purple sold. And then Paul Gill says he will take the Rage. Make sure that goes in for $29.99. Sean, are you sure? I have more. I have more. That is, so either way, we got more of them. So that's sold to Paul for $29.99. Harry Morris says he does want it. So the Deep Purple is sold for $25. The one on the bottom there, $25 to Harry. Modest Mouse, $20. Jimmy Walker. That's sold to Paul for $29.99. And Boontar, actually, Mindless Self-Indulgence is only $36.99. Mindless Self-Indulgence, that's only $36.99. He said he meant 30. Okay. I'll go ahead and sell that because I've got 2 or 3 other new ones I hadn't sold yet. So go ahead and sell that to 30 to Boontar. And In Excess is sticker price. Renee, that one's sticker price. That's a new release, new. We just got that in. That is $31.99 for In Excess. Okay. I'm going to put Blow Up back in here along with Metal Machine Music. Does anybody want Tycoon for $5? It's sealed. $5 for Tycoon. I don't know who they are. They never did get open. 13 on frames. Let me figure out what that was. Rudder Butter, did you want this for 25? You should say yes, I do. What was frames? I remember seeing that one. I think he well, I never did hear Brian Tyler. I don't know if he said yes or no to $12 on that. What was frames? Frames. 13 on frames. Go ahead and sell that to Boontar for 13. We got it marked $16.99. Go ahead and sell this to Rudder Butter for 23. Boz Skaggs has already sold. Boz Skaggs has already sold. Anybody else? That is all that's left of our vintage stuff tonight, except the stuff that I updated. Actually, let me bring those over. Let me put those in here. This was that high-end bin from last night that I updated. I have them all tagged now with what kind of pressings they are. Lowest on Three Dog Night. Well, I had it marked for $11.99. I'll take $10 for it. Golden Biscuits. I'll take $10 on that. Okay, so let's see what we had here. There was the Elton John that was sealed with hype sticker. Original, sealed with hype sticker. $44.99. Tommy says he'll take Tycoon. Tanner, that was $5 on Tycoon. That's sold to Tommy Flowers for $5. Jackie said sold on Three Dog Night for $10. I've replenished the crate. Elton John sealed. Musical Chairs, Fall on Deaf Ears. That is Power Pop New Wave, $14.99. That's a 1982 with 45, $14.99. Arlo Guthrie. Arlo was a white label promo, VG Plus $11.99. This was Dark Party, $14.99. That's Garage Rock, Dark Party. Elkland was House Synth Pop, Indie Rock, 12-inch single, Elkland apart, $6.99. The Beatles at the Hollywood Bowl, $24.99 for live Beatles. The Blackheart Procession, $14.99 on that, Blackheart Procession. Also, John Prine, self-titled. That's a 74 Richmond press, VG Plus, his debut album, $39.99. Virgin Fugs. There's a lot of different versions of this. That's why the other one we had marked so high. I honestly couldn't figure it out. I don't know how John ever did when he originally marked this one. I went ahead and reduced it to $20 because it was very confusing, all the different versions of this album. So $19.99 on Virgin Fugs. John Mayall, Empty Rooms. I reduced that one to $19.99. I figured out Horse Lips was a 1973 Atco Presswell press, and that is folk rock, and this is octagon shaped. It opens up, it's die cut, and it has pictures of the band. That's Horse Lips, and that is, I went ahead and marked that one just $19.99. Chris, John Prine would be $35. I already marked another $10 off that last night, so now it's another $15 off. Paul McCartney is $19.99. Elvis was sealed. That will be the blue vinyl, Moody Blue, $49.99. Circa Survive, Blue Sky Noise. I marked that one down to $44.99. And Third Man Records. This was the singles releases. I marked that one way down to $39.99. So what I was doing is I was checking these on Discogs, you know, based on what they're selling for now. When we marked those back in like February, they might have been higher or lower. That Humphreys McGee record, we had it stickered for $149.99. I listed it for 200, it sold immediately. So there's some things that went up and some things that I drastically reduced. It just depends on when you're selling them on Discogs. All right. I have thoroughly, and I mean very, very thoroughly, went through everything new tonight. Let's sell Chris Frazier, John Prine for $30. That's a deal, but I'm going to let it go. And let's sell Jeff H. to Billy Joel for $60. That's sold for $60. That is gone, unless whoever else asked about it wants it. Those are gone. Let's try to find a crate and go through some buy it now best offer. We'll do some buy it now best offer to wrap up the show. We'll do at least one, maybe two crates. It's 10:30. We can go as late as y'all want to, but usually during the week we stop about 11. That helps us so we can start working on stuff here at night. And it probably helps y'all so you can go to bed and wake up in the morning so you don't get fired from your job and you can keep buying records. Right, Tanner?
Pretty much.
Tanner said pretty much. Let me figure out which crate we need to go through again. Where was the crate? That crate I was going through earlier. Let me figure out what I kind of thumbed through a crate and I was like, whoa, that's some good stuff. Where was that one at? It's like some stuff we hadn't been through in a while. Let me move some stuff. Harry Morris says, I'm retired. Harry Morris says the only thing he has is time and money to spend. All he has is his time and his money to spend. Let's see here. Maybe I'll be that one. Maybe, Harry, we all want to be like you. Only thing we have is our time and our money to blow. Let's see here. That was new vinyl. I may go to the back and fill up a crate. Oh, I also did some leg workouts the other day, and my legs feel like they're about to fall off. Sorry if I'm grunting. I just squatted to look through a crate, and it feels like my legs are about to explode. They're very tight, and they're not supposed to be. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff just popped, too. I shouldn't sound like this at 27 years old, but okay. I think these are pretty recent, but let's go through them. I'll show them in detail. This looks like a really good crate of titles, and it may have just been a night where we really didn't focus on. We had some nights, we have 12 crates of vintage. It's overwhelming for everybody, right? Some nights we go through so much, like we go through 12 crates of vintage, and it's like, man, this is so much material. It's so much for me to read and so much for y'all to take in. There's a lot of stuff that's not bought and overlooked, and I think this is a prime example of one of those crates. So we'll go through them a little bit more in detail. Let's put up some auctions just to keep things interesting. I've got a Styx album and a Kiss album. The Styx album is EX condition. This is the Grand Illusion. It does have a little bit of writing right here. It has the original inner sleeve, the Grand Illusion, featuring Come Sail Away. I'm Sailing Away, set and open course for the Virgin Sea. $5 start. EX, Styx, the Grand Illusion. EX, Styx, the Grand Illusion. Kiss Animalize. Kiss Animalize is EX condition. I don't want to tell you what we originally had it marked, but I'm going to get it sold hopefully tonight to somebody for just a $25 start. EX on the vinyl. That's Kiss Animalize. Pretty clean, decent copy. Has the original inner sleeve. About a VG or VG Plus cover. Kiss is a $25 start. Styx is at $5 and now $8. I thought you sounded like Tim the Toolman with the grunts. I don't know about y'all, but if I want my legs to work out, if you do 100 body squats, 10 sets of 10, my legs are just destroyed. That's all I have to do. Don't have to have a weight or anything on them. Just 100 body squats, and my legs for about 3 days are fried. So that's a good thing. That means they're not getting exercised enough. Even though I stand here every night, I must, they're absolutely destroyed right now. I mean, they're very, very sore just from doing body squats. The Hawk Swings. Coleman Hawkins. The Hawk Swings is EX, $12.99. The Hawk Swings, Coleman Hawkins. That's on Crown for you jazz lovers. That's a 1961 mono. It's EX, $12.99. That's sold to Kenneth Jank. Everything in here is going to be buy it now, best offer. We're going to try to really figure out what we have here. This is Curtis Counts. You get more bounce with Curtis Counts. Jazz Classics. A 1984 U.S. reissue. EX condition, $29.99. Curtis Counts. Very clean vinyl for EX. That's from that radio station purchase. $29.99. Better Days. This is Paul Butterfield. EX $16.99. Paul Butterfield. This is on the Bearsville label. The top seam is lightly split. That is $16.99. Update on our auctions. It's just a scribble. It looks like a capital D, a really kind of fancy capital D. Other than that, no other writing. It's a VG or VG plus cover. EX on the vinyl with the inner sleeve. Shane Nunley has that for $12. Have a couple bidders on Kiss. First new bid is Chris Frazier's at $30 on Kiss Animalize. Charlie DeFrank said he would give $12 for Paul Butterfield. Or he said 10. I was about to say 12. Let's do 12 on that, Charlie DeFrank. That would be $5 off. That's EX. I'll say that one for 12 if you're okay with that. Hopefully you say yes. Don Bird and Gigi Grice Jazz Lab. A 1957 mono VG Plus condition, $39.99. Nice, a Columbia 6i. Don Bird and Gigi Grice Jazz Lab. VG Plus, $39.99. 57 mono. Charlie DeFrank said sold. That sold for $12 to Charlie DeFrank. Final call on Kiss at $30 and final call on Sticks at $12. As soon as we sell those, I'll put up a couple other interesting things back there. Nat Adderley, live at Memory Lane. That's a 1967 mono. VG Plus, $14.99. 1967 mono. Nat Adderley. VG Plus $14.99. 2 new bidders on Kiss. So 4 bidders now on Kiss. No one has set out. Rich Russo's at $32. Rich is at $32. Patrick was at $31. The Chapel Hill Pickers. Us Two and Him. That's a cool cover. The Chapel Hill Pickers. EX condition $14.99. Chapel Hill, Tennessee. EX condition $14.99. Booker Irvin. The In Between. That's a 1970 Blue Note reissue from 1970. EX $39.99. That's the Blue Note Liberty label. EX $39.99. Kenneth Jenks said he'd give 12 on Nat Adderley. We're going to sell that to you. That's sold to Kenneth Jenks for $12. Kiss is now at $37. I'm about to sell Sticks. No one said out on Sticks. We had James and John. I'm assuming they're done because I'm about to sell it. Those are both $12, Tanner. Charlie and Kenneth. Stephen Steele's Manassas. EX condition, $32.99 for Stephen Steele's Manassas. That's very nice at EX. It's a 2LP gatefold, $32.99 on Stephen Steele's Manassas. More Hits by the Supremes. EX condition, $12.99. More Hits by the Supremes. EX $12.99. I love listening to Supremes. Great stuff. EX $12.99 on that. All right, so Kiss is at 37. A couple people have set out. Final call on that. Let's go ahead and sell the Sticks Grand Illusion. Also $12. That's sold to Shane Nunley for $12. And as soon as we wrap up Kiss, we will sell that. James and John both set out. Good. That means we fairly sold that to Nunley for $12. Leslie Holt wants the Supremes. That's sold to Leslie at Sticker, EX $12.99. And now Kiss is a final call for $37. Animalize. Mar y Soul, the first international Puerto Rico pop festival. This is VG Plus $26.99. Mar y Soul. This is an Atlantic 2LP compilation. And check out some of the artists. Jay Giles Band, B.B. King, Cactus, the Allman Brothers, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Jonathan Edwards, Herbie Mann, John Baldry. That's VG Plus $26.99. That's the Puerto Rico Pop Festival. Mar y Soul, 2LP, VG Plus $26.99. I thought that was pretty interesting the first go around. Surprised no one claimed it. All right, we're about to sell Kiss. It's the final countdown. Renaissance Live at Carnegie Hall. Renaissance Live at Carnegie Hall is EX condition, $16.99, 2LP. Renaissance Live at Carnegie Hall. If 3, VG Plus $14.99 for If 3, VG Plus $14.99. And Kansas Monolith. Kansas is in VG condition, $9.99. The cover is in shrink wrap though. Nice jacket, $9.99. All right, Kiss is sold to Chris Frazier. Kiss is sold to Chris for $37. Our next couple auctions are going to be, let me pick out a couple here. We've got two classics. One's a compilation. It is The Very Best of Poco. This is VG Plus condition, The Very Best of Poco. This will be a $7 start. It's a 2LP, VG Plus condition, 2LP. Jim Messina, Richie Furay, Timothy B. Schmidt was also in Poco. $7 start. That's a 2LP gatefold on Epic. $7 start. And then I really like this 10 Years After album. This is also in VG Plus condition. I'd Love to Change the World. The name of the album is A Space and Time. That's on Columbia. Also VG Plus condition. $7 opening bid on that. Poco and 10 Years After. $7 starts. Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. VG Plus, $9.99 for Running on Empty. It has the lyric book with it. VG Plus, $9.99. Jackson Browne, Running on Empty. Four-wheel drive, Bachman Turner Overdrive. EX condition on that one. $12.99 for BTO, four-wheel drive. Yes, Tormato. Yes is EX, $14.99 for Yes Tormato. Leslie's in on Poco at $7. Looking for a $7 start on 10 Years After. Psychedelic Lollipop, Blues Magoos, some psychedelia from Psychedelic Lollipop. Blues Magoos is a VG Plus, $24.99 for Psychedelic Lollipop. Michael Angelo, One Voice Mini. That is EX, $39.99. Has a promo strip at the bottom. Michael Angelo, EX, $39.99. Leslie has Poco for $7, final call. And final call if you want to get in on 10 Years After. Springfield Rifle, White Label Promo, VG Plus, $34.99 for Springfield Rifle. VG Plus, $34.99. Leon Russell, Leon Live. EX condition, $24.99 for Leon Russell, Leon Live. Gordon Lightfoot, Old Dan's Records. EX, $17.99 for Lightfoot. Just keep in mind, these are buy it now best offer. I'm waiting for offers to pop up on my screen. Also, I pulled this out earlier. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but I saw a SpongeBob SquarePants record, and I never had seen it before. And, of course, this is the pinnacle of my childhood here. It has the SpongeBob SquarePants theme. It also has a Ween song, Loop-de-Loop. Pantera's on here. Pantera, pre-hibernation instrumental on a SpongeBob record. Of course, SpongeBob is known to be kind of, you never know. They say there's a lot of subliminal stuff in SpongeBob. Madonna, Like a Virgin. This was laying over here. I don't know. Is there a reason this was laying over here? I don't know. Madonna, Like a Virgin. Put back. Okay. Madonna is available. That was a putback, I believe, $24.99. Chris said he'd give $34.99 for Jazz Lab. That was this right here. Chris, I'm going to go ahead and sell that to you for $34.99. Go ahead, while we're tagging, Leslie Holt gets Poco for $7. Does anybody want 10 Years After for $7? A Space and Time. Somebody needs to grab that. $7. VG Plus. Jazz Contemporary, Kenny Dorman. EX, $17.99. 1960 Canadian Press. EX, $17.99. EX, $17.99. SpongeBob's not for sale. I'm going to keep that for right now. I'm going to make sure I really want to keep it. But Paul had it stickered for $46.99. I don't think they're cheap. It was a Hot Topic exclusive. It has tracks by Ween and Pantera. It's a Hot Topics exclusive. Now, I had this idea for a while. I was like, if somebody would put the SpongeBob music on vinyl, it would sell really well. Like all the, if y'all have ever noticed the ambient, there's somebody on YouTube who's reconstructed a lot of it. The ambient background music in SpongeBob is really kind of, if you just block that out and play it, it's actually kind of, it's really cool, the ambient background SpongeBob music. 10 Years After is sold to Michael Church for $7. Bob, you were second. That's sold to Michael Church for $7. Lou Graham from Foreigner, Ready or Not. Lou Graham is VG Plus $14.99. VG Plus $14.99. Dead or Alive, Mad, Bad, and Dangerous to Know. VG Plus, $24.99. Dead or Alive is in shrink wrap with hype sticker. VG Plus, $24.99. Is Durham a Canadian press? Kenny Durham is a 1960 Canadian press. Yes. EX, $17.99. Leslie says she'll take the Madonna if there's not already one in her bin. And I think she means like in her stuff to pick up or maybe her current invoice. So we'll tag that and we'll check on it for you, Leslie. Yes, how much? Yes, Tormato is EX, $14.99. Rush, what's this doing in here? All the World's a Stage. Rush is VG Plus, $54.99. That's not supposed to be in there. Rush is VG Plus, $54.99. The Best of the Moody Blues, Voices in the Sky. It has a smile price sticker. It also looks like a sticker got peeled off of it originally. That is $19.99. It's direct metal mastering from Germany. That's probably going to sound really good, and that's a great track listing on The Best of the Moody Blues, Voices in the Sky. Super clean vinyl, $19.99 on that. Sierra is $9.99. Sierra, that's self-titled on Mercury. Jackie said $13.99 on the Moody's. I will do, I've got it marked 20. This is actually really nice, and it's German. I will sell this to you for $15.99. $2 more, Jackie. $15.99 on that one. And J.J. Wilson said $14.99 on Yes. What did I say on that one? $14.99. Yes. J.J. Wilson wants that. And Leslie, you already have a Madonna. Tanner has brought this one back. You already had a Madonna. So Madonna's still available if anybody wants it. JJ is basically claiming yes, it's sticker. Jackie Reynolds, sell that to Jackie for $15.99. Next Play Records says $12.99 on Kenny Dorman. Sell that to Next Play Records for $12.99. John Stewart, Bombs Away Dream Babies. John Stewart's $12.99. Mark, you were second on the Moody Blues. J.J. Wilson said $8.99 on Kansas. That is Kansas Monolith, $8.99. Sure, that is $1 off. I will definitely do that. Sell that to J.J. Wilson for $8.99. Boz Scaggs Hits. We had a near mint one earlier. Here's another one. $19.99. Boz Scaggs Hits. Generic Atlantic Company inner sleeve. That is $19.99 for Boz Scaggs Hits. The Best of Savoy Brown featuring Kim Simmons. Savoy Brown is $19.99. That should be on a London Collector's Edition label. Blue London, $19.99. Buddy Holly, The Crickets 20 Golden Greats, $14.99. Renaissance, how much? Renaissance is Renaissance Live, EX $16.99. JJ, it's like you're about 20 records behind or something, but they're still here. Renaissance is EX $16.99. Tommy Flowers says he would give $14.99, right? $14.99 for Savoy Brown. If so, go ahead and sell that to Tommy Flowers. Madonna is $24.99. $24.99 on Madonna. J.J. Wilson, Renaissance, that is, yes, that is $17. $16.99. Sell that to J.J. Wilson. The Way It Is, Bruce Hornsby and the Range, $24.99. Nice, Bruce Hornsby and the Range, The Way It Is. Sell Lemon for $20. Madonna for $20 to Lemon, Bruce Hornsby. The Motels, Shock. The Motels is $14.99, Shock. Graham Nash, Earth and Sky. Graham Nash, Earth and Sky, $14.99. The Moody Blues, The Present, $14.99. The Moody Blues, The Present, $14.99, Gatefold. Moody Blues, Caught Live Plus 5, $19.99. That's a live Moody Blues, Caught Live Plus 5, 2LP, $19.99. So there's The Present and Caught Live Plus 5, a Graham Nash solo album, and the Motels all still available. Another Moody Blues, The Other Side of Life, $14.99. Oh my gosh, it's Long Distance Voyager. Another Moody Blues, $14.99. R. Dean Taylor, I Think, Therefore I Am, featuring his hit song, Indiana Wants Me, $14.99. Is anybody interested in a Moody Blues bundle? And we'll clear a few of those out for a great, great price. Just let me know. You'll get first dibs if you say interested. James Taylor, One Man Dog, $19.99, original label, very clean copy. James Taylor, One Man Dog. James Bragg says he'll take, or interested in the bundle. James Bragg, we had these marked for 15, 20, 15, and 10. I'll give you $20 off. That would be 10, 15, 10, and 10. That'd be 10, 25, 35, 45. And that is $20 off. $45 for those. I'll lay those in pending. Lemon got Madonna for 20, and Bruce Hornsby, I will do that for $20. Lemon as well. $20 on that. That is near mint. We sold a Japanese pressing tonight for $35. James Bragg said sold. The Moody Blues for $45. Those are sold to James Bragg. 20 on Bruce. There's R. Dean Taylor again. James Taylor. Bad Company, Burning Sky. $19.99 on Bad Company, Burning Sky. Very clean copy, gatefold. The Sky is Burning. Simon & Garfunkel's Greatest Hits in shrink wrap, $14.99. Also sell Lemon, the Bruce Hornsby, for $20. Simon & Garfunkel, it's definitely a repress because of the barcode and the label, but that is superb in shrink wrap. $14.99. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Mrs. Robinson, Sound of Silence. We have Elvis Moody Blue. That's in shrink wrap. That is the blue vinyl. It's in partial shrink wrap. The Blue Album, $34.99. Do y'all got Bowie? Yes. You'll have to let me know a little bit more specific of an album. But we have new copies, new sealed. We do have some original stuff around here. It's mixed in with our many thousands of records, but we do have them. Bachman Turner Overdrive, Not Fragile, $14.99. This has Rolling Down the Highway on it, and You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, $14.99 on BTO. Robert Klein, New Teeth. Robert Klein is $14.99. Gordon Lightfoot, Endless Wire, that's in shrink wrap, $19.99. Wow, what's this doing in here? A superb copy of Led Zeppelin Presence. It's kind of like what's a Rush album still doing in here. No condition notes either. Original inner sleeve, $44.99. $44.99 for Led Zeppelin Presence. Sold to Craig Johnson. That woke Craig up. Thompson Twins, Sidekicks. Thompson Twins is $24.99 for Sidekicks. $24.99 for the Thompson Twins. April Wine, Animal Grace. $19.99 for April Wine. Dolly is sealed. The Great Pretender, sealed with hype sticker, $39.99. Dolly, The Great Pretender. Badfinger, Wish You Were Here. Badfinger Airwaves and Badfinger Say No More. 3 Badfingers. They're $19.19 and $19.99 unless somebody wants a bundle. Badfinger Say No More, Badfinger Airwaves, and Badfinger Wish You Were Here. Those are all $19.99. All righty. Any last requests, especially for, excuse me while I'm stretching, my Jersey Mike's sub over here is calling my name. We've had an epic night. Wow, we have sold a lot, especially if you count all of our new vinyl pre-orders. We have sold a lot. J.J. Wilson said, sold April Wine. What was the 57 mono? Yeah, let me read through these titles one more time. No interest in a Badfinger bundle. The 57 mono was, let me see if I can find it. Or we may have already sold that. Badfinger, Great Pretender, Thompson Twins. The Great Pretender was Dolly. Gordon Lightfoot, Robert Klein, BTO, Elvis, Simon & Garfunkel, Bad Company, James Taylor, R. Dean Taylor, Graham Nash, The Motels, Buddy Holly, Boz Scaggs, John Stewart, Sierra, Rush, Dead or Alive, Lou Graham, Gordon Lightfoot, Leon Russell, Springfield Rifle, Michelangelo, Psychedelic Lollipop, BTO, Jackson Brown, If3, Mar E. Soul, Stephen Stills, Booker Irvin, Chapel Hill. Yeah, all the jazz stuff's gone except Curtis Counts and Booker Irvin. Booker Irvin, the in-between, was a 1970 Blue Note. All the other jazz, early jazz stuff is sold. $39.99. Don't think you saw my comment earlier in the show that had Noy Rocks, no list for me. Yes, Craig, I don't know if Jake caught that, but when I was going to key those in, I had that in the back of my mind to scratch you off. I will find that. But yes, Craig, no waiting list for Craig Johnson, Hanoi Rocks. Let's see. Meemaw's food, it's all gone. I ate like 3 full plates of chicken casserole, mashed potatoes that night. I probably had 10,000 calories. I'm glad it's all gone because we ate way too much of it. The Thompson Twin albums was called Sidekicks. Thompson Twin albums Sidekicks. $24.99. What was next? Leon Price. Leon Russell. Let me find that. It's right back here. Leon Russell Live. Nick, that was EX 24.99. Darren Davis says he'll take the motels for 11. Darren, I am going to sell that to you. Sell that to Darren Davis for 11. Thank you. Jersey Mike's $8. I would not sell it for $8 right now. As bad as I need it and want it, it'd probably be about $50. Tommy Flowers wants a new pretzel logic. And JJ wants to know if is how much. If is VG plus $14.99. Tommy wants a new pretzel logic. Yeah, I didn't go through that very last crate of new vinyl. That was Black Sabbath, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Leonard Skinner, NXS, and then the new Steely Dan pretzel logics. And the new Steely Dan pretzel logics are $36.99. Sell one to Tommy Flowers. Rhonda Bad Company Burning Sky was $19.99. Really surprised that's still here. Does that have Rock and Roll Fantasy on it? Burning Sky is the first track on side 2. I thought it had Rock and Roll Fantasy on it. Maybe I'm thinking about a different album. That's on Desolation Angels, I believe. Nice, clean copy, $19.99. Lou Graham price, I think that was right here in the middle. I think it was VG plus $14.99. Lou Graham was VG plus $14.99. Sell Rhonda Bad Company for $14.99. Sell JJ Wilson If for $13. That's sold to JJ for $13. And Lou Graham was VG plus $14.99. Anybody else? Keep sending them. We can empty out this whole crate. I'm glad I went back through that again. We sold about half of those. I think that's a crate I flipped through last night. I was like, yeah, this had to be a night where we probably went through like 9 or 12 crates of new vintage stuff, and we went through so much that everybody was just overwhelmed. Some nights we showed too much vintage arrivals. I know some people's like, any more new vintage. But what I usually say is like, no, let's stop showing new stuff like at 10. Let's go back through old stuff, and I can go through it like, it took us about a half hour to go through this crate because I showed every one of them, read everything, showed you everything. Some nights I'm going through stuff so fast, like I'll go back through a crate and be like, whoa, like that Led Zeppelin. That should have definitely sold the first night we showed it. So we either showed it late or I was like, Led Zeppelin Presents. I put it back in the bin and kept going. And like most people didn't even see what I was showing. So that's why up front right now we've got 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 16, 17, 20, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 37, 39, 40, 42, 44, 46. There are 46 crates of vintage records up front that we've gone through in probably the last 2 weeks that haven't sold. Maybe 3 weeks. Probably been 2 or 3 weeks since I've kind of wheeled everything to the back. And then in the back, just around our bins, there's, let's see, I know there's at least 4 towers of 4. That's 16. And then there's 9. That's 25. There's 25. And then all the stuff that's actually in our bins, which would be hundreds of crates. That's how much vintage stuff we have to go back through and do buy it now best offer at some point. So, yeah, it's a lot. We've really, really stocked up on vintage. I will go through the first 10 again. Yes. Chapel Hill Pickers, Us Two and Him, EX $14.99. Stephen Steele's Manassas is EX $32.99. Mar E Soul is VG plus $26.99. Jackson Brown Running on Empty, VG plus $9.99. Four-Wheel Drive, Bachman Turner Overdrive, EX $12.99. Psychedelic Lollipop, VG plus $24.99. Michelangelo, EX $39.99. Springfield Rifle, VG plus $34.99. Gordon Lightfoot, EX $17.99. Dead or Alive, VG plus $24.99. And Rush was VG plus $54.99. Let me see if I move the camera around. So right there's 3 crates, and then next to it is 3 crates. So there's 6, and then of course here's 2, 4, 5 crates of new. And then right here next to us where I lay stuff that's sold, that's a tower of 3, and next to it is 3. And then over there next to it is 2, 4, 6, 8. There's 8 more. And then over there behind it where Black Flag is, that's actually new vinyl. But that's 2 more. And then over here kind of to my right is a tower of 2, 4, 5 crates. And then there's a table of new vinyl. And then over here next to that is another 3.5. That's pretty recent stuff, bought now, best offer. And here's some stuff I cleared out of the way earlier. 1, 2, 3 crates there. And then all the way back behind me is another tower of 4. And then there's the Elvis and the Beatles bin right there. There's another 2. And then we have our bins with new vinyl. And then our racks back here behind us. So that's what we have. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Craig, is there anything in there you've seen? Let me go ahead and read the other ones. That was Sierra, John Stewart, Boz Scaggs, Buddy Holly, Graham Nash, Ardeen Taylor, James Taylor, Elvis, Simon and Garfunkel, BTO, Robert Klein, Gordon Lightfoot, and Dolly. This was the Buy It Now Best Offer in. That's where we're stopping for tonight. That was the last Buy It Now Best Offer crate of the night. We'll be back tomorrow. Thursday's always big because John and Paul are here, and they're both pricing. So tomorrow will be one of those overwhelming nights with like 12 crates of new vintage arrivals. Plus, I'm going to try to work on 45s. I'm going to hopefully, Paul might even be listening in, or John right now. They're going to be knocking out lots of albums just like we had tonight. We'll have plenty to go through. There'll be more new vinyl deliveries. And we'll have, what else will we have? I don't know. We'll have something. New vinyl. And more Japanese stuff. We got lots of Japanese stuff that we have not shown yet. So that's it for tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Rush was VG Plus $54.99. VG Plus $54.99. And with that, we're stopping. I'm going to eat, and I'm going to start working on stuff for tomorrow night. Thank you, and see you then.